It's all about the Most High, it's all about Yahweh Shai, it's all about the Most High, it's all about Yahweh Shai, it's all about the Most High, it's all about Yahweh Shai, it's all about the Most High.
Shalom, brothers and sisters.
Shalom.
Thank you for joining us. We are here live at 8524 South Braeswood, Houston, Texas, 77071. Our class days are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays and Wednesdays are going to be held from 7 to 10 p.m. All right, Mondays and Wednesdays. Fridays are going to be held from 6 to 9 p.m. Saturday morning Sabbath classes are held from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. Sometimes later, depending on how many questions we go over. All right, but definitely, if you are in the Houston metropolitan area, we have room for you. Please feel free, drop on by. If you are out in the San Antonio, by way of San Antonio or Albuquerque or Austin, and you would like classes out there, please contact us and we will get you that information. All right, this week we're going to go over the announcements. So the businesses, the brothers, ISBHPK, we have businesses that brothers attend to in the mall. One of the malls is at First Colony Mall, and that address is 16535 South Freeway, Sugar Land, Texas. All right, and the business is called American Eastern Oils, and we're located right in front of Victoria's Secret. We got your top fragrances for men, women, the best known scents that you could possibly love, as well as your organic soaps, your skin creams, your hair products, and candles as well. All right. We just opened up our other location again, reopened. Sorry. It's Baybrook, and the address for Baybrook. Shalom, sis. And the address for Baybrook is, what is it? Who's the address? You have the address?
Baybrook?
Yeah. Well, the address is, the mall is called Baybrook, and that's in Friendswood. All right, and that's, yes, ma'am.
500 Baybrook Mall Drive.
500 Baybrook Mall Drive. And that, we're open there, and we are the kiosk in between Fans and Build-Bear. All right, we just reopened up last Thursday, so that's been smooth. We were once there for about 4 years, and so now we just reopened it. Please feel free, come on by, drop on in. Again, we got the top fragrances for men, women. We got the natural scents, your frankincense, your myrrh, your patchouli, your lavender, your vanilla, your lilac, your jasmine. We got the top fragrances. Come on over and see us. All right. Again, we have kids class now. We have kids class that's every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. All right. You may, however, watch our pre-recorded kids classes on our YouTube, which is ISBHPK Kids channel. All right. Watch our live classes on ISBHPK. Please like, share, and subscribe. All right. ISBHPK, the cable show. We started a new season. The cable show is every Tuesday, and that's at 8:30, and that's on Comcast, local channel 17. Or you can stream it live at hmstv.org. All right. If you are interested in your Israel wear attire, if you like the headbands, or do you like the armbands, or you want your shirts fringed, or your pants fringed, hit us up on Facebook, and that's under Israel wear, and we will get that out to you. All right. The sisters do a lot of love and dedication that when they put these garments together. So you definitely want to get that up. If you have any questions pertaining to tonight's class or off the topic, you can text during class hours. It's text only. you can text Priest Kazakia, and his number is 281-707-2737. Or you can text Priest Kwataza, and his number is 303-557-8979. All right. Or you can email your questions or your concerns at isbhbk@isbhbk.org. All right. Again, during class hours, you want that's a text only number. But after class hours, feel free, hit them up. All right. Donations. Any form of donation will be accepted. All right. Monetary donations. We're gonna put the links down at the bottom, the Wells Fargo account, as well as the Google Wallet account. We're gonna put that down at the bottom, so you could drop something in there if you want. As far as books, pens, papers, pencils, whatever you have it in your spirit to give that's extra, please drop it on by. Don't be shy, because it will be put to good use. If you got a truck that we could use or that you don't want no more, drop it on by. You got computers, laptops, dictionaries. The older, the better. Encyclopedias. These are things that will be put to good use, because the reason why I say older and the better is because they try to take a lot of words and they try to say not in canon anymore. So they try to take the original words that were once used, like democracy, right? That meant ruling body of demons, and now they changed that meaning. Yeah, they changed the word Caucasian. Now it says no longer in use. Come on, we all know what the word Caucasian meant, right? Yeah, so definitely with the encyclopedias and the dictionaries, the older the better. Pens, papers, pencils, dictionaries, Bibles, apocryphas. We had a brother that donated some apocryphas, the water. We would like to say the water for that, as well as the Bibles that person donated. We can never get enough of those, because when new individuals come in off the streets, they're gonna need those kind of things. So definitely, anything you want to give, if it's from your heart, please give it. Give it. You know what I mean? And with that, we are going to begin. We're going to open it up with questions. All right. We are going to open it up with questions. We're going to give everybody a chance to log in and like and share. We have any questions in here? La. All right. How's everybody's week been so far? Tawab? Speak on it, bro. Go ahead.
I've been strategizing, just
Go
keeping
ahead.
my brain in the spirit, reading up some Psalms,
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying, just singing that inside my head every morning when I'm praying,
Right.
and it's been keeping me just in that spirit, in that good mindset, to continue inside of the fallen wicked world.
Right.
So, gotta keep in those scriptures.
And you know what? And that's something we gotta do. You know, when you look, because the scripture comes to my head. Go to Psalms.
Taste and see.
It's Psalms 119 and verse 15. And Mark, grab me 119 and 97.
Psalm chapter 119, verse 16.
Give me a calm when you guys got it. I know you fast. We got new people that are watching and new people here, so you know what I mean? Go ahead.
Con, I will delight myself in thy statutes.
Uh-huh.
I will not forget thy word.
That's 119 and verse 15.
Oh, verse 15. So like, that was 16.
Come.
I will meditate in thy precepts.
You're gonna what?
I will meditate in thy precepts.
This is what gives you that continual joy. This is how you get your actions right. This is how you get your thoughts right. This is how you get your life right. This is how you get your mind right.
Con.
You know what I mean?
Con.
Because this is what David was doing. During this time, David was going, you know, if you've ever listened or read about the story of David, he was going through hellfire and brimstone at every turn, right?
Con.
If not by Saul, then by his enemies. If not by his enemies, it was his son, right? Con. So, and you got to think, what type of mind state will a person have? Us naturally, without this word, we would be a brute beast, right?
Con.
Yeah. So you thinking that, man, I was serving this dude and now he after me and what the hell, right?
Con.
No, this man David, he didn't operate like this. This is his mind state. Read that again.
I will meditate in thy precepts.
He meditated in his precepts. What does it mean to meditate? Give me the definition. What does it mean to meditate on thy precepts? Because you guys know what a precept is? Connie, go ahead. What is it, miss?
I guess it's like two scriptures that go together, things that go together.
Time. You're looking at a scripture over here, and you're trying to link it with this over here, right? Con? Go ahead.
Meditate. Focus one's mind for a period of time.
So we're going to use that definition in place of the word meditate.
Con.
All right, go ahead.
And I will focus my mind for a period of time in silence or with the aid of chanting for a spiritual purpose on thy precepts.
You see that? That's what David did. That's what we got to be doing. That's what we got to be doing continually and daily. Now you might ask, how do I do that? Step aside just a little bit more. How would you partake in that? You got a Bible app on your phone? No? If you go to your you have the Apple or Android?
I don't have a phone.
You don't have a phone? Oh, okay.
I use the laptop.
You use the laptop? Oh, yes, ma'am.
Can I add a definition?
Oh, go ahead.
I have to dwell on anything in thought, to contemplate, to study, to turn or revolve any subject.
So you're contemplating, you're studying, you're what?
To turn or revolve any subject.
So you're turning and revolving the subject. That means it's rotating in your mind. And now, how do you rotate and contemplate these things on your mind? You could be playing. You could play the Bible app. If you're at home and you don't have a phone, you can get the. You can read it. You can read it out loud, right? Or you could. I think there's probably an app on the computer.
It is, yeah,
Okay.
I do. I read along with the book from Edmonds. Like today, I was reading. They read it, not just follow along in it.
Okay. Yeah, so you could do something like that, and what that does is it sparks your interest, and then as you're listening to the story, your another precept will come in. You're like, well, dang, I could, because the scripture says through thy precepts I get understanding. So as you're listening along to the story, or as you're reading along, you'll understand that somebody else, so another person in the Bible has been through that same scenario. So now you're starting to link your precepts together. Same, sort of like how we were just going over through the Ecclesiasticus before class started. We were going over the Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 5, right? We were showing what that fire was, what that furnace of adversity was, right? By linking that up with another scriptures, and that's what comes to mind when you're constantly in that book. When you're constantly endeavoring your mind and occupying your mind on what the scriptures say about whatever it is, about how to wear your clothes, how to brush your teeth, how to tie your shoes, how to wipe your butt, how to wash your body. if you're thinking pertaining to the scriptures on what it says to do with that, you're going to get more understanding. You'll understand why we took 2 to 3 showers a day. You'll understand why we washed our hands continuously, or we only wore certain fragrances on this day. You'll start to understand, and certain things will be clear to you as you're going through your daily walk in life, because the scriptures always come to mind. Right. Remember, we were talking about in Colossians, right? Putting away filthy communication. So what's the opposite? What's the opposite of filthy and evil communication?
Righteous communication.
Righteous communication, right? Pure communication, right? And that's what we're learning to do. Because when your mind is meditating on that, when you do so much reading and you do so much listening to the word, you notice your speech patterns even change. You start talking in that old English. You start talking in that ancient Hebrew. Why? Because that's something you're becoming more accustomed to now. And that's what we should be doing. Go ahead.
And have respect unto thy ways.
And that, because you're gonna respect that way, because that's the constant change that's gonna be in you. Was that it? Okay, go ahead, Mark.
Verse 97. How love I thy law. It is my meditation all the day.
See, David, he loved the law, because in the law there's so much delight. He seen that there was life in the word of the Most High. That was his comfort in the time of his trial. He had comfort in the scriptures. That's what kept his mind pure. That's what kept his outlook pure against his enemies. Think about this. Your boss, who you've been under for years, right? Now all of a sudden he has something against you. He's trying to kill you. But you, within your mind, you're like, you know what? That's my boss, and I still respect him. Hell, how many of us can really respect our bosses right now in the world? We can't, right? We don't have any understanding of doing that, right? But what we're doing now is understanding how to get our minds clean, and learning how to serve. We're learning how to serve great men with ease. 2, we're going to learn how to do the right thing in the right situations, and that's what David loved about that, because it taught him how to do the right thing in the right situation at the right moment. I love thy law. Read.
Thou through thy commandments hast made me wiser than mine enemies.
Because when you constantly study, when you're constantly studying this word, and you're getting more precepts, you're getting more understanding, you're learning, you're getting washed with this word every day, you're gonna become wiser than your teachers. Why? Because you're starting it at an early age. And then what you're gonna do, remember, your kids follow what you do, right? So you're gonna teach your kids at an earlier age to start this word. How to stay clean, how to do the right thing. And then as they get older, they're going to become wiser than their elders. And now we're going to be unified back into that nation. But that was it. Do we have any questions online yet?
Was Rachel a righteous woman? If so, in what way or ways?
So, read that again.
Was Rachel a righteous woman? If so, in what way or ways?
Why wouldn't Rachel be a righteous woman? I don't understand that. Why wouldn't she be a righteous woman? I mean, I understand your question, but why would not Rachel be a righteous woman? But yeah, she was a righteous woman. She followed her husband in righteousness. She was a woman of the Most High. I'm trying to figure out why would that question even be a a thought in your mind that she wasn't? What was it that you seen in the scriptures that made you second question her being a righteous woman? What was it that you seen? Okay. Let's see what they say on that. What else we got as we move?
They were asking in what ways, sir. Maybe they don't know. Said, if so, in what ways?
No. No, they responded again?
No, that was a second part question. If so, in
Okay.
what ways?
Okay, so read the question out.
What was Rachel a righteous woman? If so, in what ways?
Oh, okay. It's the way you. Right. Yes, Rachel was a righteous woman. In what ways is, like all the righteous women of the Bible, they followed the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. There was, as far as going in depth as like some of the men or Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, it doesn't go into all of that. But we know if you go to 1 Peter's. First Peter, was it 3 and 1?
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1.
Oh, hold on 1 second. 1 Peter 3 and 1. Yeah, she read that first. It sounded weird how she read it, so that's why I was asking why wouldn't she be. Let's see here. Okay, you can go ahead and read down 3 and 1.
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1.
Yeah.
Likewise, ye wives,
Uh-huh.
be in subjection to your own husbands,
Right.
that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
Right. So, answering your question, in what ways? In the ways of exactly what we're reading. That Rachel was a woman that wasn't won by the conversation of the wives. She held a standard for her husband. She held a standard to the Most High. Right? She obeyed the Most High. Go ahead.
While they behold your chaste conversation.
Right. While they watch her chaste conversation. So how she talked, how she dealt. It's going to go down and give you further edification. It was talking about the sisters in the past, but this is kind of answering your question from the door. It's showing you that her example. How do you know she was a right woman? Because her example to her husband, her example how she talked, how she dealt. Chaste, meaning virgin-like conversation, meaning pure conversation, right? Go ahead.
Coupled with fear.
Right, coupled with fear, meaning that she had respect to her husband and she had respect to the Most High. Go ahead.
Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning.
So what made her righteous? It was that her covering wasn't her physical things or physical appearance. It was the inward woman. Go ahead.
Adorning of plaiting of the hair.
Right, it wasn't about her hair. Go ahead.
And of wearing of gold.
It wasn't about her jewelry. Go ahead.
Or of putting on of apparel.
It wasn't about how tight her spandex were, because she didn't wear those things. Go ahead.
But let it be the hidden man of the heart.
Right, so you can see this, the character of the woman in the past was women that were after the inward person, the spiritual person. Go ahead.
In that which is not corruptible.
Right, go ahead.
Even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit.
Right, so this is what the Most High, the standard of the women, of the righteous woman, they had to be to this standard. So any of the women in the Bible that are known as our forefathers or foremothers would have to live by this standard. Go ahead.
Which is in the sight of God of great price.
Right. So why is her name mentioned in the Bible? Why is our foremothers mentioned in the Bible? Right? You don't read a lot about any other, not a lot of women in the Bible, but these sisters were included because they bared this example.
God.
Go ahead.
For after this manner, in the old time, the holy women also.
So here you go. Here's going to answer your question further. Read it one more time.
For after this manner, in the old time.
In the old time, talking about Rachel, Sarah, Rebecca, right? Ruth, Esther, right? And some of the sisters he's going to touch on tonight. Go ahead.
The holy women also, who trusted in God.
Right. So these righteous holy women, they did what?
Who trust in God.
Right. They trust in the Most High. Go ahead. So it's showing you this is what standard she had to be known of. She had to trust in the Most High. She had to have a meek and quiet spirit. She had to be adorned with the spirit, not with carnal things. Right? Go ahead.
Adorn themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
Right. So even though as we go down it tells you about Sarah, but Rachel had to do the same thing.
God.
These women of the scriptures had to do the same thing. So their covering or adorning was the glory of being subject to their husbands. How do you know a righteous woman? You can tell because how she deals with her husband, her family. Man, if you can't respect your husband, who are you going to respect? Think about it. If you can't respect the person that you sleep with, communicate with, make love to, then who are you going to respect? So this is what it's showing you here, that for after this manner, in the old time, the holy women who trusted the Most High adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. Go ahead.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are.
Right.
As long as ye do well.
Right. So these other daughters were under the example of Sarah if and when they did well. Go ahead.
And are not afraid with any amazement.
Right. Why does it say that? Who knows? What sister knows why does it say that last part? Be afraid with any amazement. Any sisters know that? La? It's saying that as you take on this adorning, right? And now think about what it said up further. It says that they're not won by the conversation of wives. So if they're afraid, then usually when you're afraid to commit to this level to your husband in righteousness, what are you afraid of? You're afraid of what people are saying. You're afraid of the conversation of the wives and what people talk about you. Girl, you wearing a dress, so he got you stupid. He got you wearing a dress. Right? But these righteous women weren't afraid of what was going to be said. Oh, girl, you covering your head? Psst, I ain't doing that for no nigga. Right? Oh, girl, you bringing him food? What are you, his slave? No. Not his slave, his wife. You know what I mean? Just like the husband would bring the wife food. Nothing wrong with that either, right? But see, they try to manipulate that because they want to pull all of that unity away from her, away from your family and household. And that amazement is like, I mean, think about how many times that you were told something and people were, when you told somebody and they were amazed They were like, that sounds weird. Like, really? Right? But these sisters weren't amazed. They weren't scared or amazed at what needed to be done or required by the Most High. Right? Because they knew it was from the Most High, and the Most High honored that spirit. So that was it on that. So that's how we know Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, all these sisters in the Bible were honored, and their names being said in the scriptures that they were women that bared this standard. All right. We got any other questions?
No questions.
No more?
Wow.
Okay. So we give y'all a few seconds, see if y'all got any other questions. All right, nobody got any questions in here? Loud? Okay. Yeah, because class wasn't started. 7:13. All right, so if nobody got any questions, let's go into this class then. Remember, if y'all do have any questions, write them down. We can go over them. And he's gonna talk about that a little bit tonight, and go on that a little further about not only Rachel. It was Rachel they were asking about, right?
Huh.
Not only Rachel, but more sisters in the Bible. So go ahead, Art.
All right, let's go to, we're going to start, because what we're talking tonight about, we're talking about powerful women that were in the Bible, as well as who was it, Rachel? Yeah, we're talking about powerful women that were in the Bible that were aspiring. These are sisters that everybody could look up to, because today in society, they have you looking up to what, Wendy Williams, they got you looking up to Tyra Banks, who is it? Nicki Minaj, Kardashians. They got all these wicked women in the world that they want you and your children to look up to, and that's not according to what the Most High wants you to look up to. He wants you to stay rooted in His Word. We were just talking about being meditating, right? How are you going to meditate on what image to follow? That's why we're going to go over these women, because as far as a sister, because it's hard for a woman today. Because what do you see around you? You see spandex, you see half-clad, naked women walking around, you see boisterous, high-mouthed women talking left and right off the side of their neck, walking around like some chicken heads, right? Gone. But that's not the standard that the Most High chose Israel to be. He said we were supposed to be a peculiar people. How are we going to be peculiar if we're walking around like every same Tom, Dick, and Harry person? We gotta look at what the scripture says how a woman's supposed to be. Because these women, they weren't no pushovers. They weren't no punks. The Most High moved through them. The power of the Most High moved through these women and saved Israel plenty of times. It wasn't just simply bringing a man a sandwich or bringing him a cup of water. No, these women saved Israel's lives countless number of times. These are women, aspiring women to look up to. Con? All right, so give me, we're going to start with Rahab. Give me Joshua chapter 2 and verse 1. Joshua chapter 2 and verse 1. We're going to be doing some reading, so make sure you're on point with this. All right? But Rahab, a little backstory. This is when Israel came out of Egypt. All right? And this is shortly after Moses had passed away. And we're talking about how Joshua had sent spies to go see the land of Jericho that we were about to overthrow. All right? Go ahead.
Joshua chapter 2, verse 1. And Joshua, the son of Nun, sent out of Shittim 2 men to spy secretly.
Right. Hold that before you go there. Let's go to Hebrews and why we're bringing up Rahab. It's very important that we understand that why it's even in the Bible. Okay? It's even in the Bible about her. You know? So go to Romans. I think it's Romans. Speaking of sisters in the scriptures, let me get it real quickie here, so y'all can have this one in your notes. What chapter is that? Hold on. Bear with me one
Hebrews
second.
11:31.
Hey, thank you. Hebrews, not Romans. Thank you, I. Oh, perfect. Go there. Go to Hebrews 11. Why are we talking about Rahab? What nationality was Rahab? Rahab. Rahab.
She was a heathen.
She was a what?
She was a heathen.
So she was a heathen.
I can't remember what she was.
You see this, but for her act and what she did, it was known and it was written down for what she did. So this is a heathen woman. And it helped Israel. It benefited Israel. So read that. Where you at?
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 31.
Uh-huh.
By faith, the harlot Rahab
Right.
perished.
So by faith, the what?
Harlot Rahab.
Right. So she was also a what?
Prostitute.
She was a prostitute. Okay, so as we go into this, you're going to see that the Most High can use anybody. You're not too filthy. You're not too dirty. You didn't, you know, I talked about that in Sabbath class, that you know, there's not one sin that you've done that is greater than the next brother or the next sister. So the scripture is showing us that she was a harlot. So a harlot is written here for her works.
God.
Man, if that ain't gonna motivate you to see that you can clean your act up. You have the chance, you have a choice, but you gotta be willing and wanting to believe in what the Most High wants. So this is why this is a good one to start out with. Rahab, one of the notable sisters in the Bible that did an act that the Most High remembers. Go ahead.
By faith, the harlot Rahab perished not with them that believed not,
Right.
when she had received the spies with peace.
Right. So, and we're gonna read about it. She had received the spies with peace. Go ahead.
Verse 32.
Right. So we're gonna hold that. We won't read down yet, but by faith, the harlot Rahab perished not with them that believed not. See? So the Most High had mercy on her because she did what she said she was going to do. She was faithful. And now she's written in the scripture. So go ahead. Now jump back to Joshua.
Come on, Joshua chapter 2, verse 1. And Joshua, the son of Nun, sent out of Shittim 2 men to spy secretly, saying, Go view the land, even Jericho. And they went and came into an harlot's house named Rahab, and lodged there. Verse 2. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, Behold, there came men in hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country. And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, Bring forth the men.
Right, so what do we got going on here? What's happening?
We trying to take over that land.
Right, the Most High sent Joshua in to do what?
Spy it out first.
To take over this land. But Joshua was wise enough to do what?
Peep the scene.
Peep the scene, check out the city, to make sure they don't do anything too rashly, to make the correct decision with wisdom and not move too foolishly. So you know, we talk about this in Sabbath class a lot. Always remembering that when you read these stories, don't read them straight through like it's a novel. If you use your audio Bible like I tell you to do, don't just listen through it and then be like, well, I listened to the chapter. Nah, really get into it, because you can see these subtle nuances in here that shows us. Joshua didn't move rash. He moved with wisdom and understanding to do the will of the Most High. Okay? Go ahead.
Their king, and the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, bring forth the men that are come to thee, which are entered into thine house, for they be come to search out all the country. And the woman took the 2 men and hid them, and said thus, there came men unto me, but I wist not whence they were.
So she hid these men. She was already privy. She already knew what was going on. Because if you believe it or not, because Israel at this time was being known, their fame was being told about them wherever they were going. So the people in Jericho already knew about Israel coming in, that they might be next one day. So she's not dumb. She wasn't dismal. She already knew, listen, these are these Hebrews that are coming to take this land. You know what? I need to roll in faith. So she was privy to what was going on. And so she was, like the scripture says, wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove.
Go on.
When those men came in and asked, has she seen the spies? Did she respond boisterously? Did she respond like a nigga? Was she high-minded? Was she hot-mouthed? Did she have an attitude when she responded? No, she played the role of being a woman, being dainty, being delicate, being, in her case, being this harlot, but still being respectful. You don't have to always just flex your muscle to show that you got muscle. Sometimes you're showing your strength in the calmness. The scripture says a soft answer turns away wrath, right? And in that case, this is what's going on. She's being wise. She's being subtle. But for the benefit, not just of her own self, but for Israel. And that's why the Most High took note of this. He said, you know what? Man, who is this? Who is this girl? You know what? I got you. That's why she made this oath. Well, we're going to keep reading on. Where you at?
Right.
Verse
Now,
5.
let me say this. So, we're understanding that Rahab was a harlot. Khan? You understand that, right? Rahab was a harlot. Hold that. And because remember, we're talking about these women that their characteristics in the scriptures were used for righteousness. Now, obviously, being a whore, the Most High don't want the children of Israel to be whores, right? Okay, so we know that characteristic wasn't right. But what was she known for? When you go back to Hebrews 11, she was known for her faith, right? So what made her move in this faith? You see that? What made her fear? What made her, at this moment, honor the Most High? So you got to see that the spirit of wisdom can come on anybody to make the right decision. And that's what she did. She's got to make the right decision. But let's find out something about a harlot. Go to Proverbs 7 and go to jump to verse 7. 7 and 6. Just to show you about the characteristic of this woman, and we're gonna show you how she twisted it, how she turned it. Go ahead, read that. Proverbs 7 and 7.
7.
Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
And behold, and beheld among the simple ones. I discerned among the youths.
Right.
A young man void of understanding.
Right. A young man void of understanding. Now, I was going to get to this point of the harlot, but we're talking about right now a man void of understanding. Go ahead.
Passing through the street near a corner.
Read.
And he went the way to her house.
Right. Now, what we're going to find out is he's talking about a harlot too. But let's find out some characteristics that this harlot has and how she used those characteristics for righteousness. Go ahead.
In the twilight,
Right.
in the evening,
Uh-huh.
in the black and dark night,
Right.
and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot.
So this was a whore. See, now we know the simple ones was the youth. He don't understand what he's getting into. But that's not what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about Rahab and how this spirit on this woman, this whore, she used it for the right thing. And that's what you don't see with a lot of brothers, a lot of sisters. You don't see that with a lot of sisters. You see them when they come out of the world, they got that spirit of a whore. And then in the world, they using it right to get over. They got this nigga paying child support, this nigga paying child support, right? That's what they do. Pop babies out with 3 different basketball players just to be paid and not have to work. They got it. You know, then they got the guy that's just buying them food for their house. They got it all worked out. You gonna pay the light bill. You gonna take care of the kids and the rent.
You gotta have one for the car note.
Right, you gotta have one for the car note. So when we're talking about a whore, right? But this whore wasn't no regular whore. She turned from her whorism in this moment to be recognized by the Most High. Right? I mean, are we not understanding that? It says she was a whore, but what did she do? So let's go on. Let's talk about this whore. Read.
And subtile of heart.
She was what?
Subtile of heart.
Right. Whores are usually what?
Subtile of heart.
Yeah. Crafty, cunning, trickery. See, but this is the thing that, I'm going to say it again. She used that subtlety for wisdom. She used that subtlety to get over in righteousness now. Before she was getting over on making everybody pay child support. See, this is why you can't come in the truth as a woman, man, and start to get dumb. Most I ain't saying, you know, you come in and now you don't know how to do nothing. Well, you got to tell me everything, so I'm just going to shut up. No, the Most High ain't saying that. You got to keep your wits in your mind and your knowledge. But it got to be turned over to righteousness. You don't all of a sudden like, oh, well, since you got to tell me everything, I don't know how to make rice no more. I've been making rice all my life, but since you the Lord, you my Lord, I don't know how to make rice now. No, you still make rice, right? And you do it your best, but you're doing it for your husband and the Most High now, right? You knew how to get over on niggas in the world. Why is it when I tell you, listen, go handle this business over here and make sure you do it this way and this way? You did it in the world. You didn't have nobody telling you. You went in a zone and you manipulated a man. You got what you wanted. You knew what to say. You knew how to speak. Right? But why when you come to the truth, it's like you can't turn that for righteousness. You know you can't be the loud, disrespectful, disgruntled woman, but you knew how to get what you wanted. And think about it. When you did want something, were you loud, disrespectful, or were you sweet and conniving and slick? Right? Telling him everything he wanted to hear. That's what you did. Well, why not, when you come into knowledge, you do the same thing? And that's what you're going to see. That's why this is a powerful one, because this was a heathen whore that now used all those things she learned to manipulate men and to live and survive and to do something for the children of the Most High. This is what sisters got to see, man. All that madness you learned in the world is supposed to be changed. You're supposed to use it for your husband. Use it for your family. So you're going to sit me here, now I got to go exchange this. You did that how many times? You went in the store and exchanged and changed receipts and did this and that, right? You you was doing download stuff. You know how you was working the system. But you come in the truth and it's like you stupid now. You don't got no wisdom. Like, I don't know. So what you want me to do again? Listen, go in here. You gonna tell them this. You gonna tell them this. Right? I don't know. Now you faithless. Come on, man. See, this is why everything got to be turned over to the Most High and chained for Yahweh Shai for the betterment of you, your family, and your nation. You see that? Watch, it's going to go on. Let's read about this characteristic that she had on her.
That's what we were talking about before we started recording. I was talking with the sister about that, because now the gifts and the properties that you have, now that you're using that for the benefit of the Most High. Now you're taking your talent and you're flipping it. Instead of being that negative, now you're doing it for that righteousness.
Right. Exactly. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 7, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
She is loud and stubborn.
Right. So you see that. So this is the characteristic of a whore, right?
God.
She is loud and stubborn. But how do we turn that around? You turn it around by knowing when to be boisterous and bold in righteousness. That's how you turn it around. You know that, wait a minute, if the scriptures of the women of the past adorn themselves in humility, then right now is not time to be bold. You need to be bold and boisterous when you out there in the world and you got to take care of something and handle something and get a come up for your family. Not with your husband when you get at home. And that's what this, I mean, she was a whore. But she learned, okay, I can't trip out on these spies. I'm going to get my head chopped off right here. We're going to find out. Read out. I don't want to jump too much ahead. Go ahead.
Her feet abideth not in her house.
What?
Her feet abideth not in her house.
Yeah. Why? Because she out there in the street. She's bouncing from man to man. Right? But how do you turn that around? How did Rahab say, hold on, I got to put all of this aside and be the woman that's needed for me and my family to survive? See, these are the things in this Bible, man, that a lot of brothers and sisters don't look at. They don't look at those things. They just look at the, well, this is a whore. But how about you when you turn from a whore? When you change those things? Right? When you put on the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, do you just get dumb? No. You start to use that for the Most High. Go ahead.
Now is she without.
Uh-huh.
Now in the street.
Right.
And lies in wait at every corner.
Right, because she's trying to get men. She's trying to get money. So what happens when you set her on a mission now? She's no longer on the block. She done sold her body on the block. She done came up on niggas. She done sex favors for this person or that person. Right? She let a man beat her. But when you come to the truth, now you all of a sudden, nah, I got my limits. Like, you was just on this and that. What you mean you got your limits? What are you talking about? But what you're seeing is that a lot of times you're not using all those things, not the negative, but the righteous attributes, and saying, damn, if I was out there in those streets, why am I complaining when we working late doing garments? Why am I complaining when we're doing headbands? Or I got to cook? Right? I did all these things in wickedness for the world 10 times over. Right? What did it say? Her mouth is open, or her quiver is open on every arrow? You did that. You manipulated. I'm not going to put nobody on blast, but there's some sisters still with that worldly mind, man. They want brothers to pay for the babies, for their rent, their child support, their Uber. It's like, you got to get a job. What you talking about? But what it is, watch, hold that. Go to, no. Hold that, go Go there real quick. Let's get these. Let me throw this in there. It's just to show you, man, when you bring out these women in the Bible, obviously Rahab is noticed or known because this act of her going in, them going in the city. Israel's going to take over this city, and her faith. But in that moment, she had to change. Y'all see this? But read that. Where is it at?
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22.
Right. Go to Jeremiah 4 and 22.
Come on, Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22.
Jeremiah 4, verse 22.
Come on, Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22.
Jeremiah 4:22. Go ahead, write that down. Write that down and read it. Go ahead.
For my people is foolish.
Right? It said, my people is foolish. Go ahead.
They have not known me.
Go ahead.
They are Scottish children.
They are sottish. Sottish, when you look that word up, it means stupid. The Most High says you're stupid. Stupid children. Go ahead.
And they have none understanding.
Go ahead.
They are wise to do evil.
They are what?
Wise to do evil.
Man, innovative. Whew! You'll take over the world. You come in the truth, you're like, I don't understand what you're saying. You are wise to do evil. Innovative, motivated. You know what I mean? Now you get tired quick. Now you bored quick. Boring. Why? Because it ain't evil. Read it again. They what?
They are wise to do evil.
Uh-huh.
But to do good, they have no knowledge.
Yeah, see, like Rahab, you're supposed to switch this over. You're supposed to change this over to righteousness. If I did this in the world with filth and with dirt and with whoredom and with ego and pride, come on, man. Y'all know a woman can manipulate the hell out of a man. All she got to do is be soft-spoken and use the right words, man. She can get over on any cat. But a lot of sisters come in, and instead of seeing how to use it for the will of the Most High and how to please their husband, now it's a burden. But you did it when you wanted that Louis Vuitton bag. Baby, you know, baby, you know I love you. You know, listen, we gonna meet in the parking lot and we gonna meet in the bathroom. You can duck my head in the toilet again. You know I'm a, right? You did anything. Anything, right? But now you come in the truth, it's like now you got morals. Stop it. You ain't got morals, man. What I'm saying is this, of course you're supposed to have morals, but they're supposed to be transformed from wickedness to righteousness. Okay, go from there, go to, where is it at?
Luke chapter 16 and verse 8.
Go to Luke 16 and 8. And that's what Rahab did. She turned her wickedness and used it for righteousness. This is the example we're supposed to be learning from this moment where this heathen did something for the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
Luke chapter 16 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
And the Lord commanded the unjust steward, because he had done wisely.
Go ahead.
For the children of this world are, for the children of this world are in the generation wiser than the children of light.
There you go. That's showing you, man, the children of this world are wiser than the children of light. But how could that be? When in Baruch 4:1 it says, when you get the law, it will illuminate you. So how is it that you're selling drugs, you wise, you slick, you cunning. You want to get that promotion, you wise, you slick, you cunning. You wise as a serpent. Man, you forget wise as a serpent. You are the serpent. Right? You get people fired. You get people replaced. You go ahead and spit venom in one ear and then go back spit venom in another ear. Come on, y'all know what goes on in the world. Come on. This person create an argument with that person, sit back and watch him. That's what they do. The children of this world is wiser than the children of light. See, remember, not in evil, you're supposed to do that same evilness in the truth. You were supposed to take that mind that was wise in the world and bring that wise mind to the truth and apply it to righteous attributes. You know what can keep peace in your house. Why not be wise to keep peace? Right? Why not use that and switch it? You were wise to get the shoes. Why not be wise to do it for your husband, for your children? You see how backwards Israel is? You see how backwards this society is? See, that's why I said the children of this world is wiser than the children of light. So you got to check that. You got to check yourself. Jump back to Proverbs 7, and then we're going to read down in this Judges, is it? Joshua. Go ahead, read. Come on.
Verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Now is she without, now in the streets.
Yeah. It's funny because right when you go to Proverbs 31, we know we touched over that the other day, right? Isn't the righteous woman out there?
God.
But she's not doing what the wicked woman was doing. She's using that strength, that motivation, that power she was doing in wickedness and brought it to the truth. Now, y'all should be full off of Proverbs 31, stuffed off of there, so we don't have to go there. But this is showing you that, on the other hand, when you were wickedness, you were doing that for wickedness. But you got to turn it over. Go ahead.
And lieth in wait at every corner.
Right?
So she caught him.
She what?
Caught him.
Wait a minute. A woman can what?
Caught him.
See, a woman can catch a man. A woman can catch a man and manipulate this man. But why is that not happening in the truth? Why are you not manipulating your husband to see all the goodness in you and righteousness and holiness and purity and truth and make him see? You know how you made him see in the world why he needed to get you this, the boob implant, the butt implant, right? You did that. Like, this is 15 grand. I got to get these new set of boobs. And you did what? You went all out and you got that, right? And I know none of y'all in here on that, you know, boob implant, breast implant. But I'm showing you how manipulative women are. Come on. You ain't manipulative? Hell yeah, you are. Don't try to act like you righteous now. You're manipulative. And you can be. But are you going to do it for the will of the Most High? Are you going to do it for your nation? Or you going to just stand there and be like, you know what? You got me doing something that's compromising my spirit. Like what? Going and telling the white man what he need to hear? What you talking about? I ain't telling your ass go on the block. I'm telling you to get this done for us. The school needs this. We need this donation. Your house needs this. Your kids need that. Go in this society, rip it apart, take it. Right? It's yours. Right? But you start just like, I don't know. Like, what are you talking about? You do know. Right? Manipulated how many niggas on Facebook to think you was like holy, like you was righteous. Shalom, brothers. I'm here. You know what I mean? Look, you dropping scriptures. It's like you didn't even know the dang Bible, but you got niggas gassed up like you was pure. Why not use it for righteousness? See? Why to do evil but to do good they know not. You got to switch that. This is what Rahab did. She switched that whoredom and saved her life. Right? God. I know I'm jumping, but we read. Go ahead. Read on.
And kissed him.
Uh-huh.
And with an imputed face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me.
Right? Go ahead.
This day have I paid my vows.
Yeah. She's telling him what he wants to hear. Why the husbands in the truth got to be told what they don't need to hear. It says a wicked woman abateth the courage. But you got the power to break a man and lift a man up. Y'all know that. You have that power. You can tell a man, you can have your husband walking around, man, strong as hell every day. But why don't you? Because that same whore manipulative spirit, you haven't transitioned. You haven't transitioned for the gospel, for the knowledge, for the word. You got to look at yourself. You got to check yourself. Go ahead.
Therefore came I forth to meet thee, diligently to seek thy face.
Right, she was diligent. You know what I mean? And that's what these women will tell you.
I was looking for somebody like you.
Yeah, man. I've been waiting for a man of God. She see you online? I've been waiting for a man of God. Damn. She get what she been waiting for a guy that she know is going to be good-spirited, and that when they have kids, he's going to try to do his all to take care of her and those kids. And that's what they try to do with you in the truth. They try to knock those kids out so you can come back and pay for those kids. And they can sit on their butt. You got a lot of wicked women like that. She know that you're going to be trying to be a righteous man. See, it's a real manipulative spirit, but we don't, you sisters not supposed to be that anymore. You're supposed to be the new woman. Put on the new woman. Go ahead.
And I have found thee. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry.
Why a hoe know the right things to say? Why a hoe know the right things to say?
I know you like this, right?
Son, babe, I know you got off of work. You know what I mean? Okay, because I'm paying you $1,000 a night. Yeah, I know you got off of work, baby. You know, I cooked something for you.
I know your feet tired.
Yeah, come on in. Come on in.
I'm going to rub you down.
You get home, your ribs snoring, snot's falling out her mouth. You know what I mean? Fake eyelashes are coming off. Weave is already departing. Yeah, it's already half shed like a cat. And you coming home, you look in the fridge, there's an egg right there in the middle. Like, what's going on here? You got to see that. You got to turn it around. You got to switch it over for the Most High in Christ. You got to put off the old woman. See? And be renewed in the spirit of your mind. Don't get dumb all of a sudden. Keep that, but use it for righteousness. Yeah, baby, I made some dinner. It's in there. Is there anything else you need? I know you're coming home. It's gonna be a hard day. I know you're going through this. How did it go over there? Oh yeah? Oh really? Dang. Okay. So what is it you need me to do? You're saying all the right things, right? But nah, you got a lot of sisters still in this mode, in the manipulative, whorish, worldly mind. She was known in Hebrews 11 for her faith, because she changed that and used that for Israelites. I'm going to keep saying this. This was a heathen. How many of our women are standing up and fighting for their nation like that? How many? You know why it's not like that? Because a lot of you don't see that the fight, the establishment starts at home. It starts at home. You can't help your nation out if you're destroying your husband, your children, your daughters, your boys at home. So a lot of you don't see, a lot of you think, well, this is replaceable. This home right here is replaceable. I can go get another nigga in another home. But you're not seeing that this is why these homes implode and fall. Because you're not staying with that man, supporting him, being a backbone for him, your daughter and your boys. Because you don't see the importance in it. But imagine if, the black women, the Hispanic women, the Israelite women start backing their husbands. Now the husband can do their job. You see? So this manipulative spirit gotta go. This whorish spirit gotta go and be turned into righteousness. Go ahead.
With carved works.
With what?
Carved works.
Yeah, she carving, huh? Huh? She do.
This is handmade.
She,
This is made by
my hands.
these hands.
my hands. I'm taking care of you.
But she's caressing you like while she's saying that.
Yeah.
Like, I made it with these hands.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. But this is a whore, remind you. She's doing it for money. She's doing it. It ain't real. It ain't in her heart. She don't really want to be that way. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Now think about what I just said though. It ain't really in her heart. So how do you feel at home when you ain't really doing it from your heart? You're worse than a whore. That's why it says a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. Give me that one for the new sister, just to throw it out there. No, you stay where you at. Let somebody else get it. Just for scripture's sake. I know y'all got it, but just for scripture's sake, call out the scripture for her.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 25.
Just write that down. We don't have to go there because that's not the point, but I did quote it. So go ahead and read on.
With fine linen of Egypt.
Right?
I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon.
No, with stink.
Myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon.
Spotted up bed sheets.
Myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon.
Milk everywhere in the bed sheets.
Myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon.
Musty ass bed sheets.
Myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon.
Right? This is a whore. What about a wife? Isn't her price far above rubies?
Gone.
Way above.
Con? So this is a whore. She know how to take care of everything. She know how to beautify everything. She know how to make a man feel. You're supposed to be knowing how to do this over and over and over again. But these are the things that's been taken from the Israelite women, and now they're doing it just to get by, and they're ravishing beasts. They don't care about the destructive of the men, the destructive of the daughters and the boys. They don't care about their nation no more. Go ahead, read.
Verse 18.
Uh-huh.
Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Let us solace ourselves with love.
Nah, nigga, I'm tired tonight.
Let us solace ourselves with love.
Nah, my back hurt.
Let us solace ourselves with
My
love.
feet hurt.
Let us solace ourselves with
I
love.
just came from work.
Let us solace ourselves with love.
Let me put you on a chart here. Hold on a second. The last time we laid together and made love, okay, that was about 3 weeks ago. I think I can fit you in. But this woman, she's making sure that man is getting caressed, love, because that does what to a man's ego?
So the definition of solace is to comfort,
right?
Console, to cheer, support, soothe, calm.
Bring it out.
Right.
She said, "Come, let's get this soft, sensual, just comfy, baby. I know you. Oh, look. You tense.
Right.
Oh, you tense. Let me get that out.
Now, I don't want y'all to miss this point. We're talking about a whore here. We're talking about a whore. What the heck does a wife supposed to do? You talking about I gotta go pay for that? Hell no. I gotta go pay to be talked to, right? I gotta pay for my feet, or just love.
Feel special.
To feel special? Nah, bruh. You shouldn't have that. You shouldn't have that. But that's why, remember it said in 1 Peter, we just read it, we don't have to go back there. Behold her chaste conversation. Right? She adorned herself with this love and humility and compassion about her. But now you understand why men deal with whores. Because what is it? They don't get it at home. They don't get that comfort, that love at home. So what do? They go look for these whores. Not saying that's right. Not saying it's right. But a man of wisdom, then he go out looking for the wrong thing. excuse me, a man with no wisdom, he'll go out and look for a hoe. It's not real, so you're gonna get the same thing. She's just doing it. That's like strip clubs. You know what I mean? You go in a strip club for what? To be gassed up? Nah. You see this? You see this spirit? That you got to look at yourself and say, dang, what type of woman am I, man, if I can't even do better than what a hoe does? I can't even treat my man and comfort him and be sweet to him and be gentle to him and give him love when he wants to. Dang. So, read on. Come on.
Verse 19.
Go ahead.
For the good man is not at home.
Right.
He is gone a long journey.
Go ahead.
He hath taken a bag of money with him.
Right. Now, what is going on here? Who knows what's happening here? What sister knows what's going on here as we're reading down? Because we're reading about a harlot. We're reading about her seductive speech. But what is going on in here at this point when it switches? Anybody? Well, she's finna go into this adulterous spirit. She's finna go into the spirit of adultery. And a spirit of deceptiveness, a spirit of lying. You see this? This is what this whore would do for money and gain. She has no respect for herself. She has no respect for her people. The scriptures say there should be no whores of the daughter of Zion.
That's right.
See, she got no respect, so she's going to commit adultery. Right? Listen, the husband, he's out. He left. He's going out of town.
He's on a business trip.
Yeah. He went to the fair for a whole month. Yeah, let's meet over here. We go meet over here. Read. Go ahead.
With them, and will come home at the day appointed.
Mm-hmm.
With much fair speech, she caused him to yield.
And that's why I'm going down. Because I'm showing you something about Rahab, the harlot, the characteristic of her that had to be turned around for righteousness. Right.
Because, you see, because it's like, it's beautiful. You're painting the picture in my head because, you know, I imagine like, see, now I imagine when she's doing this for righteousness, so you got these men that are looking for the spies, right? So she took all these characteristics of a harlot and she turned these men away. Like, no, baby, listen. She rubbed his chest a little bit. She said, nah, baby, ain't nobody coming here. Ain't nobody here. All the while the spies are up on the roof, hiding. She's using her wiles and her wits and her charms, what she's known for, to the benefit of the spies for Israel.
Right.
She's consoling, she's comforting these men who are trying to find the spies who are trying to kill them. But she used that for the benefit of Israel. That's what our women are supposed to be doing. That's what you're supposed to be doing that in your household. You're supposed to be giving your husband that solace. Imagine if you told your husband, damn, you look powerful every single day. How would that man feel? That man would be, if you told your husband, damn, you powerful. Bro, damn, you powerful. 2 times a day. You know his level would be on like 10 every single day. There is nothing he wouldn't even accomplish because you just 2 words. Damn powerful.
And then he would return that. He would bring that back to you. You see, so, you know, y'all got to understand, and we talk about this a lot, that the woman has more power than you understand. But it's these certain things in the Bible that when y'all read these stories, you ain't looking at. We're talking about a whore that used her powers, her superpowers, for righteousness. Now, we want you to analyze you and ask yourself, man, if a whore can be sweet, kind, seductive, caring, ready to please, where do I stand with my husband? Check yourself, man. Examine yourself. Go ahead, let's finish this.
With the flattering of her lips.
She did what?
Flattering of her lips.
So hold that. Yeah, jump back to Joshua real quick and let's read where we at. Now we're at to the point to where she was what?
Flattering with her lips.
Right.
And that's how read verse 5. Go ahead.
Right.
I was just supposed to give it away. Joshua chapter 2, verse 5.
Right.
And it came to pass about the time of shutting of the gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Whither the men went, I what not pursue.
No. Start that again. Read it correct, please.
Right. And it came to pass about the time of the shutting of the gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Whither the men went, I what not. Pursue after them quickly, for ye shall overtake them.
Right. Go ahead.
But she had brought them up to the roof of the house, and hid them with the stalks of flax.
Go ahead.
Which she had laid in order upon the roof.
So she's using her abilities because, you know, her house, she's using her house to hide the spies, right? But all the while you still got the men, the army men of that country trying to look for the spies. So she hid them, but then she's still using her wits and her wiles that she has for the benefit of these men to keep them alive. She's letting them know at the same time, this is what they're going to go do, and this is where they're going to go. This is where you need to hide for this amount of time, and while you're hiding, I'm going to go out here, play my role, act like this, and I'm going to keep them at bay. So they don't come up in my house and suspect me acting all kinds of strange. Go ahead.
And the men pursued after them the way to Jordan unto the fords. And as soon as they which pursued after them went out with, they shut the gate, and behold, and before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof. And she said unto the men, I know that the Lord hath given you the land.
So she was a woman who already knew. She wasn't stupid. This wasn't a stupid hug. This woman was educated. She understood what was told about these Hebrew Israelites. She knew what was going on. She knew her surroundings. Israel's reputation stood before them. So she was wise. She was privy to what was going on. Dang, I know who you are. The same way when you walk in the mall, when you walk around your job, when you walk around in this world with your head wrap on, when you got your head covering on. Dang, I know. Okay. I know what type of woman that is. The same way with a brother when he has his fringes on. I know what that means. They're privy. You're not stupid because people around us, they're watching us constantly.
Right. It says you're a light you're a light unto the world. So now that standard has to be seen. And she knew because, and also the Most High put a spirit. He put a spirit on her to see this. Go ahead, read on.
And that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the Lord faint because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you.
Jump to verse 12.
Verse 12. Now, therefore, I pray you.
Because she was talking about the whole reputation that Israel did because everybody heard about it. About what they did to Egypt, how they departed the Red Sea, and how they destroyed the Egyptians that pursued them in the Red Sea. So we're at verse 12. Go ahead.
God, now therefore I pray you, swear unto me by the Lord, since I have showed you kindness, that ye will also show kindness unto my father.
Because she wants the same kindness. She knows these Hebrew Israelites ain't nothing to mess with. So listen, I need you to please show me some kind of kindness. I kept you alive. Please keep me and my family alive. Go ahead.
And give me a true token, and that ye will save alive my father, and my mother, and my brother, and my sisters, and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death.
Hold that.
Right. So y'all see how going over Proverbs 7, how it applies that same manipulative spirit. She used it to save her life. See? Yeah.
She actually used it to save her father. She said, my father's house.
Yeah.
She was actually
Everybody. You know? And think about it, man. That's why when you come in the knowledge, you come in the truth, you got to use all those gifts that you gain out there in the world. You got to use them for the Most High. You got to use them for the truth. You know, some of you come in and you knew about dealing with kids. Bring that to the truth. You knew about dealing with different economics, building businesses. Bring that to the truth. Don't get lazy. Don't get more dumb now. You know, you was a chef. You was a dietitian. Bring that to the truth. You know, help out Israel. You know, but a lot of times sisters, man, start to act like they got to sit in the back. No, you can. All it is that instead of me being loud and obnoxious and boisterous and overbearing and disruptive and out of order, now I got to learn how to bring it. How to bring it to these men of God in the right character, right? So we can build together. That's all it is. The one thing the Israelite man wants is a meek woman. You can tell me anything, it depends on how you say it. You can tell me anything, it depends on how you say it. If it ain't meek, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at your mouth, the way it talks. If you think you know every damn thing, I'm looking at you. I'm like, it's just a turn off. So you guys got to see that. That's what a man want. He want what the scriptures say. Chase conversation. So don't lose the gifts that the Most High has given you. Start to use them for the truth in your family. Go ahead, read on.
Hold that. Give me Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 7. Because this is what you have to realize. This is what you're realizing you're doing this for. You're doing this for the benefit of your people. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 7. When a man's ways please the Lord.
Because this is how you got to see this. You're using your wiles. You're using your femininity, if that's a word. You're using your talents, the things that you've learned throughout the years that you've been alive. You're learning how to use those ways to please the Lord. And when you do that for the benefit of your nation of Israel, go ahead.
He maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
How are you going to make your enemies at peace with you unless you use what you have for the benefit of the Most High's people? And that's what she's coming to realize. Listen, I need to save my family. I need to save me. I need to save my father's household. How am I going to do that? You know what? I'm going to do this for you, spies, and in return, can you please do this for me? Show me this favor.
Right. Let me throw one in there, and this is the one that some of y'all know common, but read that Proverbs 14 and 1.
Proverbs chapter 14 verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
It says, every wise woman buildeth her house. So, what things am I doing to build the house? What things am I doing to break it down? Yeah.
I use the scripture because even like for sisters that would want to, oh, my man left his phone right there, let me pick up his phone and be nosy and snoop around his phone and stuff.
Right.
You're using your fingers to pluck down your household.
Right.
So you're going to start, now you get your feelings about something that you don't like and you want to start an argument and stuff like that. Now I'm not saying brothers be out there, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, of course not being reckless, using wisdom, but you going through your man's phone and stuff like that's a way you can plug down your household, I feel like.
Listen, anything that your man, you know that your husband doesn't want and going against it, that's plucking down your house. You know that that is not desirable by him, and you going against it is plucking down your house. Little by little, he sees that disdain in you, that spirit of a disgruntled employee. You're going to tear down your house. So what is it that your husband wants? And let me do that because that's going to build my house. That makes him happy, right? You act like y'all get angry when you got to make your husband happy. What happened to love? Huh? What happened to just love? Like, do what I ask you to do. Don't you love me? Yes. All right, then let's do this.
But what about the nonchalant behind, even if there is no love? Like, you're just doing it just to do it. You're going through emotions like a robot.
What do you mean?
It's just something that came to mind because it's like, okay, because you said doing it out of love, right?
Right.
But then, like, okay, well, I don't have the attitude, but I don't have the love, so you're just you're just being robotic and just going through it.
Yeah. Well, the Most High said, don't do anything. He said, do everything with your whole heart. You know, and that shows too. That shows that spirit of, I don't really want to do it. what love, what dedication, what desire. But then what are you here for then? What are you in that relationship for? That's a horrible life, ain't it? What are you, a slave? I mean, in that case, if you don't desire to do nothing that the Most High or your husband want, why do you think you're sad all the time? Why do you think you feel like a slave? Because you're told things that you don't want to do. I mean, is that not real? That's real. Anybody that don't want to do something, forced to do it, you're going to feel like a slave. You're going to feel like you just want to boss me around. You just want to run me. It's not like that if you want to do it, right? So these are the things, man, that brothers and sisters, that these wives and husbands, you know, we are the women now, but these are things that women don't think about. It's like, that's a sad puppy. That's a sad life. You know, we talked about that the other day with the whole body, right? About being in the body, being in the camp, and not wanting to do or be about what brothers are doing. What's the point of that? If we can't agree on our goal, our purpose, our mission, then how can we walk together? Right? How can we deal together? It's constantly going to be at odds. So a lot of you got to sit back and say, man, what do I want? I'm so unhappy here. Well, what makes you happy? You know, that's why a lot of these relationships are like that. Because you don't sit back and say what you really want. You know what I realized? I don't want a family. I want to be that little nasty hoe I was. I got to go back out there in the street, bopping from man to man. Some sisters want that. They haven't grown up yet. Right? But if you really want a man, and you feel like the Most High has brought you that man, then you're supposed to be doing the things to please that man. And most of all, to please the Most High. That's what this is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about you pleasing the Most High, first of all, above all. So, it's a lot, man. It's a lot this is bringing out. Come on, go ahead.
Go from there, go to Exodus chapter 2.
Right, so that we're gonna move on from Rahab.
Because we're concluding Rahab right now, because you guys see it's in depth how she was and how she conducted herself. And that's a key principle that you need to look at and consider within yourself. Am I using my ability? Am I being the best to my ability for my nation?
I like that you started out with that, because that was a whore. That's just, if you think about that, that should blow your mind. That was a whore that is noticed and known for her faith.
Right.
You should have nothing to say. You can't. You should be like, wow, the Most High gave this woman a chance. You know, what is it for me to get a chance, and that you didn't live this corrupt, filthy, beastly life? Because y'all gotta understand, when I'm talking about this whore, you gotta understand that it does something to a woman's mind to go bounce from man to man and sell her body for money. So when I just talk about the word whore, but you're messed up in the head. You're messed up in the mind to bounce from man to man and let all these men put their spirit on you. So we know that. We know you get messed up, because what happens with that woman over time? What happens to that same woman that done had Tyrone, right? Done had Leroy, done had Bill, right?
Joshua. You got what's his name? Frank. You got.
By the time you start having sex at 12 and 13, and then you get 20. By the time you're 20, what are you? bitter, angry, upset, you're like, F men, I'ma do me, you turn into like Rihanna. Right? You see what happened when Chris Brown beat her butt? What happened? Bitter, angry, and her little stinky weave wearing sticky breath girlfriend smoking blunts behind her. They was right there with her with their stinky ass mouth talking about, girl, look how he treated you. And everybody in their circle was showing her, you gotta be this angry hoochie now against the world. And the way you do that is you don't hold one man down, you go sleep with every person that you can sleep with. So the hurt and pain that you went through create more hurt and pain and suffering. Now, unless I'm wrong, y'all correct me on this. Correct me on this if I'm wrong. It ain't like that as women?
It is.
Huh?
It is.
It is, huh? How old are you, sis?
44.
You're 44. You know what's up. Now, how old are you, sis?
27.
27. Am I lying? What you was going to say? You raised your hand.
You kind of took the words out of my mouth, but they do develop all those, all those different spirits, especially from those different people that they pick up on. You just pick up on those habits when you're dealing with those different type of people or
Yep.
different type of men. So, this dude has a smoking habit, this dude has a stealing habit, this dude has a drug habit.
Yep.
You just end up picking it up every inch of the way, and so next thing you know, you're just out of your mind and you're doing all kinds of crazy things.
Yeah.
And then like I had to read books on the women who were actual prostitutes and they had to deal with pimps, and it all started in the mind. They off rip went after the women who were daddy issues and
There you go.
issues and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's right on point. And remember I told y'all the other day I had to go in on my daughter? I was like, don't be coming in here like you got daddy issues. Because you don't. I talk to you. I deal with you. I don't ignore you. We give y'all everything. Why? Because once that daddy issue starts bubbling up in your head, then you start to look to the wrong men to fulfill that slot. So it's really harmful when you start at a young age and you start to give yourself to many, many men. It's destructive. And that's why a lot of our sisters, they can't handle relationships. They can't handle them because they're already beat up, used, and abused. And like you said, this guy did him wrong, this guy did him wrong, this guy did him wrong. Finally, 10 guys down the road when you're 18, you realize that, dang, who am I going to trust? So you put your guards up, which is a natural thing. But that's why you don't supposed to give yourself to every man. The scriptures say give yourself to a godly man. See? So, yeah, that's why I said this live and survive. That's what you're supposed to be doing for the Most High. Go ahead, let's move on to the next one.
So we're at Exodus chapter 2 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 1.
Now we're going in and talking about this is Moses' mother. All right? Because now we went from the whole perspective, right? Now we're going to faith perspective. This is Moses' mother. Does anybody know her name?
La?
La.
Okay, go ahead.
Her name is Jochebed. All right? Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 1. And there went a man of the house of Levi, and took a wife, a daughter of Levi, and the woman conceived, and bare a son. And when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him.
Okay, breathe, take your time. Yeah. All right.
Please, come on.
Verse 3 again. Go ahead.
And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes.
Bulrushes. Okay, so here's what's going on during this time. Pharaoh had put a hit out on all newborn children.
Israelites.
On Israelites.
Right.
All right, so those who were newborns all the way to the age, I think it was like 5 or thing. But it was pretty young.
Right, this is the men children.
The men children of the Israelites.
Right.
Because there was foretold about somebody that would, a deliverer, that would deliver Israel out of Egypt.
Right.
So he wasn't liking that. So he said, you know what? All the newborn men child are going to be put to death. All right. So she was raising her Moses from the time of 3 months, and she couldn't hold him any longer. So now she put him in this bushel. All right, and she sent him up the Nile. Go ahead.
And dab it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein.
So what she's doing is she's trying to camouflage this basket that she placed the baby in, because she doesn't want it to sink, right? And she doesn't want it to go just all the way downstream hella fast. So she's covering it with slime. She's securing it good enough to hold the baby. All right, go ahead.
And she laid it in the flags by the river's brink, and his sister stood afar off.
Everybody know who Moses' sister was? Miriam. Yeah, she was older. She's the older sister of Moses. So she's looking out. She's helping her mother. All right, go ahead.
To wit, what would be done to him?
So now because this came to mind. Give me Matthew chapter 10 and verse 41. Because you got Miriam at a young age. Because we're talking, we had mentioned about children. Because sometimes small things are overlooked. Are they not?
Why?
Because you're like, well, I did this and I didn't get noticed about this. I didn't get noticed about that. Like if you were to just read the story like a novel, you wouldn't understand. Miriam actually did help out in the beginning. That was a major role. That was important to make sure that basket that held her brother, the future deliverer of Israel, was secure enough to get to its final destination, the destination that was needed. That's something so small, but it's so important, right?
Yeah,
Read that.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 41. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward.
So you're going to get a prophet. Think about this. A prophet is a person who leads Israel, right? Khan? He's somebody on a high payroll in the eyes of the Most High, right? Because he has a lot. He's accounted for a lot, right? But you're going to get that same prophet's reward when you take care of the smallest things. So no sister's action is not going to be unnoticed. Would you rather your thanks from man, or would you rather your thanks from the Most High? Right. So whatever it is you're doing, whether you're giving a cup of water, whether you're making a garment, whether you're making a plate of food, that has to be unto the Lord, because He's the one that's going to bless you. What can you do with a thank you? Can you go take that to the bank? Can you deposit that? Is that some bus fare? Is that going to pay your utility bills? I thank you.
Wow.
Hell no. But the Most High sees what you're doing, and that it's something so small. All you have to do, 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 12, have that willing mind. Have that willing mind to do what's needed of you, to use your wits, to use your talents for the benefit of your household, and the Most High is going to bless you. You do it secretly, He's going to bless you publicly. You see that? Come on, go back.
Verse 5. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the river's side. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she went her maid to fetch it.
Now imagine if Miriam caught an attitude. Imagine if Miriam caught an attitude and was like, you know what? Like, dang, you just really, like, okay, you secured it, Mom. Apparently you know what you're doing. You secured the basket, you put the baby in. Why don't you just push it down the river and it'll get there? Why did she cop an attitude with her mom and do that? Why did she help out? Why did she make sure it got to the destination safe? Because the scripture says, take no matter small or light. That's why. because she was humble enough to know, you know what, this is to help my mom. My mom is a faithful and God-fearing woman. Let me be like that.
Let me get two real quick. Go to Proverbs. Go to Proverbs 22 and 6. Then we'll go to Deuteronomy.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6.
Go ahead.
Train up a child in the way he should go.
You're talking about the standard of a woman and what her mission is and her goal is in life. So I like this point too. Very good point. That a lot of times you think these missions and these things you're sent to do is a small thing. But they bear a big example when dealing with your people. You know, the least important sister, right? Somebody's got to come in, or mind you, you think you're least important. The sister's got to come in and see your example. The women come in and see your example. So you might like, oh yeah, it's not a big instance, but it is. It is right. She was going to make sure that the Savior of Israel was guided. It was a small thing. But what had to be inbred in this little girl? What characteristic? What standard? What love? Nowadays, you got the daughters bitter like mom, angry like mom, doubtful like mom, double-minded like mom. Because that's what you trained them. That's what you put in them. So you got to watch, because it might come to the smallest things, but you can bear and you can look at the standard of your child and the standard of what you set. Right? Read it again.
Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Well, now, when she is old, she would not depart from it. So what are you teaching her? You rolling your eyes? Right? Or you teaching her how to give herself like you give yourself? Are you talking to her and showing her the Bible? Or are you showing her bitter, angry, deceptive, argumentative, disobedient wife? That's why it's important. Go to Deuteronomy 28. It's very important that you watch this. Deuteronomy 28. Y'all know this one. But just to show you why this daughter, or this Miriam, had to have the right spirit on her. 56.
The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground.
Right. You see, that's what Miriam was during this time. Brought up as a youth, she had to be taught to be tender and delicate. No, she was a bad girl. It says she's what?
Tender and delicate.
She was what?
Tender and delicate.
Loud and obnoxious.
Tender and delicate.
Disrespectful.
Tender and delicate.
Talking back all the time.
Tender and delicate.
No, she was arguing with her mom, talking about, why you can't send such and such? Why I gotta do it, mom? What did you train your daughter to be? That's why a lot of y'all, you don't need kids. Why? Because that same demon on you is going to jump on your kid. You see that? You're doubtful. You live in a shadow. You live in doubt. You live in double-mindedness. You ain't going to raise your daughter with no tender and delicate, meek spirit. You're going to raise her to be a disgruntled, backbiting, loud little girl that's going to grow in to be a loud, disgruntled, disrespectful woman. So, once again, I like it because it's a little moment that you're thinking like you overlooking, like, oh, well, what's important about her watching the Moses go through the river and make sure he was alive? I mean, think about this. The Most High had all the pieces had to be set in the right place to make sure Moses was alive. Moses went and was the prince of Egypt This is beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Go ahead.
Among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground.
Right, so she would not be able to put her foot on the ground. Because why?
For delicateness and tenderness.
Because she was tender. Not just in her meat, not just her flesh, but because her mind, her spirit, her body was tender. All of it together. You understand?
Gone.
Now, how are you raising your daughter? You raising her to look out for her family? Or you raising her to be a little selfish woman like you? You raising her to think about the riches of the world? And show her how you're invested so much in your job? Or are you raising her to see the value in giving back to her nation? This is what the Most High is showing us, man. Like this little girl was doing something mighty and great with her mother. So are you moving like that in your house? Are you moving with carefulness? You understand this?
Right, because what a child is doing, they're watching the way you operate. If you're moving around the house just any type of way without thought of your actions of how you're moving, then that's what they pick up. Then they perceive the wrong thing, then they take that because children don't have the understanding. So when they see you just flipping everything out and just moving fast, you trying to hurry up and get
slamming stuff.
Right.
Attitude.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah, but you're acting like you don't got attitude, but they know you got attitude. See, hold that. And then we're going to jump back. Hold that.
Go ahead.
Go to Titus 2 and 4. Titus 2 verse 4. So this is just showing you about, remember, like the scripture he quoted, if you give a prophet a cup of water, you receive a prophet's reward. It's something so small what she was doing, but it wasn't small at all. But why did she do that? Where did she learn that from? Now, I'm a father. It seems like I got two daughters. Right? So you can understand this when you're a father more. Because you start to see little certain things latch from mother to daughter. And that's why they have to be careful the way you train up the child. Y'all get that? Go ahead.
Titus chapter 2, verse 4.
Go ahead.
That they may teach the young women
right
to be sober.
That's what you're supposed to be, training up the child, the daughter, in the way she shall go. But you got to be careful. You got to watch yourself. Watch. Check this out. Go ahead.
To love their husbands.
Right. Wait. Read it from the top. Read it again.
That they may teach the young women to be sober.
See, but how could they teach somebody to be sober-minded when you're not sober? Sober meaning what? Who knows? What, sister? Tell me what the sober mean. Shalamaya. Right, clear-minded, focus on the word. What else, sis? What you got?
I was going to say clear-minded.
Clear-minded, what else?
You're not influenced.
There you go. You're not influenced by anything else, right? Sober, aware, awake, conscious. Not walking around and not seeing that, okay, wait a minute. I said this before. I can't be walking around the house around men with no bra on. You got to teach your, hey, come here. Let me talk to you. You see your daddy, he's here, he's around here? You can't be walking around with no bra on. Because that's going to teach them not to do that around other men. You too old for that now. You know what I mean? Cover yourself up. But if you ain't sober, then your children ain't going to be sober. Then if you don't do that, why the hell you let your daughter do that? You see this? But the consciousness of what you're doing, you got to be. If you see, you got a lot of ribs that's snappy. You know what I mean? Hey, babe. It was like, whoa. I just said, hey, how you doing this morning? I'm doing good. Like, all right. Then your kids see that. What's going to happen?
Snap and turtle.
Now your kid is always doing what? They're snappy. You see that? But if you're sober, you're aware, okay, this spirit, I'm getting angry at that spirit in her because the Most High is showing me I put that spirit on her. That's why you be angry. Girl, don't be coming. What? She acting like you. Shut up. Stop that. You start with you. You got to be sober. So when you sit back and you look at them, are you teaching them to be Miriam? To walk soberly, aware, mature? Or are you teaching them, well, I'm not going to jump because we're going to go back to Deuteronomy. Go ahead.
To love their husband.
To do what?
To love their husband.
But do you love order? Do you love direction? You see that word I put in there in the place for husband, right? Because husband is just the word. Let's deal with the context of what it's saying. Do you love order, direction, leadership? That's what it means to love your husband. It ain't just a word. Husband. I got to love the word. H-U-S. No. I got to love what that represents and what he's doing for me. Right? Are you teaching that? Are you showing them that through your actions? That's why that's why these kids are so bad as hell. That's why they're out of order. Because you train up the child in the way he shall go. And he watches you, she watches you, they look at you, they pick it up. And that's what you're seeing with Miriam. She did this big thing because the Most High was with them and she was raised right. Go ahead. Now you see why the Most High hit Miriam with leprosy when she got out of order. Because she knew better. He turned her ass and made her look like a white person. Because she knew better. She knew in her spirit. She was raised from her youth up. Like our kids. You think the Most High gonna let them get away with what they doing? Sitting in Sabbath class, getting the knowledge, parents sitting down talking to them with scriptures. Bro, they go out there and try to get disgruntled. The Most High gonna pow right upside the head real quick. Why? Because they already know. He's not gonna play with them. See? Go ahead, read on.
To love their children.
Right, you see that? To love their children. But are you teaching and showing them that you love them? Or do you love liquor more? You love your job more? You love your social media more? I love everything more except putting time into your mind. So see how we can't complain about our children unless we start investing in them the correct way? Y'all get this? So go back. Did you finish that?
Verse 5.
Go ahead, read down.
To be discreet.
Right, there you go.
Come on, man.
To be what?
Discreet.
To be discreet. All right, did you teach your daughter to be discreet?
Come on, man.
I said it before.
Scripture says, discretion shall preserve thee.
Yeah, but were you an exemplified example of discretion? The daughters look at the mother. My girls, they know dad. Dad is going to be rigid, hard on me.
Yeah.
But what are they following? They look at what you wear, how you do your nails, how you walk out the house, how tight those clothes are. And you doing it, and they're looking at you, okay, mom doing it like this, okay. Oh, so dad is hard, but mom is really independent. So, oh, I got to fake it like mom. Okay, mom, I'll do that. I'll fake it like you then. Shalom. Yahweh Shmalatan. Yahweh Shmalatan. I'm righteous. You're going to grow up, you're going to raise a little deceptive, with the preacher's daughter, right?
Oh, pastor's kid.
The pastor's kid.
Dang. Those are the worst.
Those are the worst.
Those are the worst.
You got to really teach her why to be discreet. That's why I said forcing the Bible down their mouth is not the way. But teaching them how the Bible applies in life is the way. Is the way, brother. What?
That might be a precept. It's Proverbs 11:21. It says, as a jewel in the snout of a swine,
yeah.
so is a fair woman that is without discretion.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Like, you're teaching this young woman from her youth how to be discreet. Are you discreet? Or you make sure you at the mouth in front of everybody? You know what I mean? You yelling all in Walmart with the dookie thong on? You know what I mean? Are you teaching her that? Or are you teaching her, listen, let me talk to you for a minute. Right? Are you teaching them how to, you know what I mean? I'm gonna wait till I get home. But are you teaching them how to be erratic and emotional? How to not solve their problems with their mind? I'm gonna tell you, my daughters look at me, but they look at their mamas first. And they watch them. So you're gonna be the blame. The mother's gonna be the blame if they out there having sex at 12, 13 years old and pregnant at 16. Don't try to act like it ain't your fault. You got to be instilling in them the right thing. Right? So discretion. Right? What else?
Chase.
There's that word again.
There's that word again. Chase. Are you teaching them how to be, to hold their virgin, their chastity, their tongue, how they come across? You see that? All these things got to be in them. What are you looking at? Like, what are you looking at when you look at your daughter? I know what I'm looking at. I'm making sure, well, I'm hoping she ain't picking up any bad traits. Are you looking at that? Taking the oversight? Go ahead.
Keepers at home.
Right. No.
No, they out in the street.
Yeah, they out in the street. Where's mom at? Not here. Not here to deal with the real issues. You know, not here to cook dinner and sit down with you. She always busy. She always doing something else. See, it's little things like that. Making time for them, sitting down. We were just talking about that. Making time for them being able to sit down and actually at the table and have a dinner. They need that. Without your phones on, all that, right? All that Edomite stuff. But kids need that.
They do.
You need communication. They need to see that love, that bond, that family. See, but if they never see mom, they're going to be thinking, well, I'm going to do like mom do. I'm going to avoid all the real issues. I'm going to avoid when it's dinner time. I'm going to avoid when I got problems.
When I come around, I'm going to give the nonchalant answers.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the bare minimum communication.
Right.
Everything was cool.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I'm not really putting my spirit into communication with you.
Right.
See, these are all the things that hurt a family, hurt your daughter, hurt your children. Go ahead.
Good.
Right? Teaching her how to be good. Read.
Obedient to their own husband.
See, are you teaching that? Obedience? Because they're going to see that through you. If you're obedient to daddy, then they're going to be obedient to daddy. They're going to be disobedient. There ain't no structure. There ain't no rule. There ain't no order. Man. And it hurts. It hurts to see your daughter, you know what I mean, 15 years old, acting like she's 30. Why? Because mom is a hoe, on drugs, getting high, don't have a place to stay. I'm not going to put people's stuff on blast, but y'all know Israelites. Not every Israelite came in with their whole family, right?
Come on.
But then you trying to still build that bond with the woman that's in the world and bring your kid, but when your kid come around, they're like tore up, spirits down, broke. Why? Because mom's is still in the world deeply. Yeah, man, it's bad, it's sad. But that's why we got to appreciate and cherish the wisdom. Because everything else is destructive, man. Y'all get this? Read, come on.
That the word of the Most High be not blasphemed.
Right. And that's the whole thing. You got to show them how they're a representation of the Most High, of Yahushua, of Mother, of Father. You got to show them that. So they can have a code and a standard.
Right.
Because if not, go back to Deuteronomy 28, verse 56.
The tender and delicate woman among you.
Yeah, if they're not tender and delicate and meek and chaste and humble and good, go ahead.
Which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground.
Go ahead.
For delicateness and tenderness.
Right.
Her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom.
She's going to be evil towards the black man, the Israelite man. Now she's thinking like the white man. Your kids are thinking like the white man. Nah, that nigga ain't no good. Don't trust him. Right? Nah, don't trust that nigga. He wants something. He wants my goodies. Knowing dang well you gave your goodies to everybody.
It's not that. It's not
But it's still a warped mind. It's like you gave your goodies to everybody, but now you want to act like the black man, the Israelite man, him out for your destruction. Now the man ain't right in all this, but we ain't going over men tonight. We're dealing with women. We dealing with women tonight. But it shows you, man, that evil eye, you better watch what you train up your daughters to be, because they're going to be you. See, that's why when you come to the truth, you're supposed to be working out all those things out of you. You're supposed to be getting off the old women out of you. That high sedity, you think you know everything, COO, CFO, manager.
The IND.
Yeah, that I can't be, the what? The independent spirit.
Yeah.
You got to be getting that out of you, because you're going to have daughters and they're going to see that. So it's good some of y'all, man, are holding out on it.
And you got to get that out like spiritually too, because, you know, like even if you don't say it, they see it in your actions. The Jews require a sign. The scripture says the Jews require a sign. They see the signs that you're doing. If you don't say it, they see what you're doing though. That we were taught to live by that don't do as I do as I say, right? But what do they end up doing? They end up doing what you do. So you got to be real careful on that.
Yeah, man. It's destructive. Come on, finish that.
And towards her son. And towards her daughter.
You see that? Towards her son, towards her daughter. That's why you got the little sisters. They evil towards their brothers. Why? Because what love are you instilled in that daughter?
Wow.
You see that? What?
It was crazy bringing this up, because I still try to talk to my little sister. It's the only person in the family I really talk to.
Right.
And she's in college now. She thinks she knows everything.
Right.
She's very, very haughty and just make it to her own destruction. It's like I'm so upset because like I've been here. I've been 21. I've been 20 before. I've been 21. I'm telling you what's going on. Like you out here listening to these dusty niggas in college like that. Don't call me crying, because I'm not the same dude in the world when they come out here trying to shoot somebody or beat somebody.
Right. Because that's what they gonna want to do.
Yeah, but it's like
be the big brother.
I know where she gets it from though. Like where she don't want to listen.
Mom.
And I don't feel like talking it. Don't talk about the Bible. I don't care what you believe in. Click.
Yeah.
So I gotta always like be subtle with her and
billions are gonna die, bro. That's all I sit back and look at and realize billions are going to die. A lot of people, they don't want to hear that. Even when you try to help them. But it's fine. I'm like, hey, you don't want to hear it? I got you. No problem. That's how I got to be. Go ahead, finish that. We're running out of time. Go ahead.
That was it.
All right. Yeah.
Go back to Exodus. You're at 2 verse 7.
Verse 7. Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and call to thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee?
So we're looking at Miriam, and we're looking at Moses' mother. These are faithful women, small in detail, but held major weight in what they were doing, in their actions. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go, And the maid went and called the child's mother.
They called who?
The child's mother.
They didn't just get any regular person. They got the child's mother. We just read the scriptures in Proverbs. When a man's ways please the Most High, he makes even your enemies at peace with you. The order was to kill all the Hebrew men, all the newborn men, childs. They were supposed to be put to death. But now this same king, Pharaoh, right? He was okay with it. She said, listen, go get the child's mother. Not just any wet nurse. Go get that child's mother and bring her here and have her be the wet nurse for her own child that'll grow up in my house.
The Most High is moving the pieces, and people don't even know. See, and that's why you standing for righteousness, the Most High will move those pieces around you. You don't got to panic. Israelites, they're faithless people. You panic too quick. The Most High is moving, and I hope y'all understand what he's saying. He's not saying that they didn't know. You know, the king didn't know. This was the mother, the mom moving behind the back, because they knew the women knew who this baby was. But if the king had found out, off with his head. Yeah.
I just thought about it. Before you said, I was just thinking about the scripture about when a man's ways please the Most High.
Yeah.
Right.
Moses was likely circumcised. That's like he was a Hebrew.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, we would look like we were similar to the Egyptians in appearance.
Yeah.
As a baby, all of our features probably wouldn't have showed, but the probably separation was
circumcision. Oh, they knew this was an Israelite kid. Come on now. The decree went out. They knew, but the Most High had a spirit to save this child. Right? So the Most High started moving all the pieces the right way. But who had to be in the spirit? The family. The mother. The daughter. Right? Yeah.
Verse 6. Read that.
And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept.
Read.
And she had compassion on him and said, this is one of the Hebrews'
What
children.
did she say?
This is one of the Hebrews' children.
So they already knew who this was. They already knew it was a Hebrew Israelite child. A man child. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and call to thee a nurse of the Hebrew women?
So they were like, well, should we just go call any old nurse? Go ahead.
That she may nurse the child for thee? Verse 8. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go. And the maid went and called the child's mother.
Go ahead.
And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages.
So she didn't just nurse her own child. She got paid for nursing her own child. When we shut the hell up and follow, that's when the Most High just blesses you up more abundantly. That's why you get that prophet's reward, because you're just doing something small. Follow it. That faith is just believing in the method that was told to you and you follow it. That's all she was doing. And that's how these women are so powerful. What's up, sis?
No, I was going to say, did they know that was Moses' mother? It was just coincidental.
It was coincidental. Okay. Yeah, no, they didn't know. They didn't know who she actually was. You know, the Most High was moving the pieces. He was making it perfect for this man Moses. You know, making it perfect for Israel, man. Making it perfect for our faith to show you, stop panicking. When you think this person's going to let you down or that's not going to go the way you want to, just let the Most High make his moves. You stay faithful. These are women staying faithful. So I like it. That's beautiful.
Go ahead.
And the woman took the child and nursed it. And the child grew. And she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses. And she said, because I drew him out of the water.
Right, because that's what his name means, drawn out of the water. So this is faith right here. From there, give me Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 10. Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 10. This is what you got to consider when you want to lash out, when you want to be that nigga, when you want to be that Beyonce, or you want to be that Little Kim, or you want to be that I'm going old school, Foxy Brown. When you want to be who was it, Cleopatra Jones? When you want to be these nigga women, this is what you got to consider. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 10. Look at the generations of old.
What are you supposed to be doing?
Look at the generations of old.
You're going to be looking at the women before you. Like it said in Hebrews, you're the daughter of Sarah. If you're looking at these type of generations of old, this is how you're a child of Sarah. This is how you're a child of Abraham. Go ahead.
And see, did ever any trust in the Lord?
Did anybody put their trust in the Most High? When Miriam was told to follow the ark, the baby ark down the river, did she put her trust in the Most High? Was she confounded? Was she forsaken? La. It said, did ever any put their trust in the Lord? Go ahead.
And was confounded.
Were they confused on what they had to do? Were they left to their own wits? Were they left to their own imagination? Hell no. They put their trust in the Most High. They put their faith in the Most High, and He moved for them. He fought the battle for them. He made their enemies at peace with them. They didn't do that. It's no coincidence. That's the Most High moving. That's what you got to understand. When you want to lash out and you want to just move all any type of way in your household, in front of your children, this is what you got to do. You got to ask, am I following and putting my faith in the generations of old? Am I following the same path as Sarah? Am I being like Miriam? Am I being, come on, Joab or Rahab? Am I being faithful like a hoe, like the hoe that saved the spies? This is the generation you got to be looking at. Go ahead.
Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken?
Anybody respect what the Most High laid down and followed that and was forgot about?
Like you just said, that's why I said in 1 Peter's without any amazement. You know, and that's really what women, the whole point, and it's in your being, is to be, you look at the males, right? That lion, right? Going out, conquering, taking over, right? The women come back and they want to be nourished. They want to be taken care of. They want to have stability. They want to be stable. They want to know that this man is about something stable. That's what every woman wants. She don't want no losers. She wants some stability in her life. She wants some, what's another word?
Security. She wants some
security.
She wants some strength.
She wants strength. She wants some security. Is that not true? Con. So you have to trust a lot. See, because a lot of times you're thinking like, I don't want to go with your logic because I don't think it's secure enough. The Most High is teaching you about faith. That's why a lot of times arguments in your household, backbiting, murmuring, contention, because you're not faithful to say, wait a minute, if the Most High stood in these men, women path and made things happening, why am I panicking? And that's what you do a lot. A lot of sisters, where do arguments come from? Where do those arguments come from? You just don't trust that it's going to work out the way that it needs to. That's what's wrong with a woman. That's why we argue. And that's what you got to get out of you. You got to get that doubt out of you. Until you got too much doubt in you. Y'all see this? Look at the women of old and see that any woman put their trust in the Most High and was confounded. No. When you look at Hagar, when you look at Hagar, she is another heathen. What did the Most High do with her? When Sarah was like, it's Sarah, right? When Sarah casted her out, what happened?
He sent an angel to her.
He did what?
He sent an angel to her.
He sent an angel to a heathen to take care of her and say, okay, nah, y'all gotta bring her back. You see this? So you gotta think about that. If the Most High is doing this with heathens, how much more the sons of God? How much more the children of Israel? So you got to learn how to show your daughters, your children, yourself. You got to learn how much more to put your trust in the Most High. So that's another perfect scripture. Come on.
Go to 1 Samuel chapter 25. Because this is another woman of influence to watch out for now. Because in this story, everybody know about Abigail? Khan? Okay.
Or not? Everybody doesn't. Y'all know? Yeah. Okay. Don't know about Abigail. Okay.
All right. So we're gonna go briefly over who Abigail was. All right, because I don't want to give it away. I have to do that. Go ahead. 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 1.
And Samuel died, and all the Israelites were gathered together and lamented him, and buried him in the house at Ramah.
Now Samuel was the prophet during that time period. This was the end of the. This was right before Saul had fell. All right, go ahead.
And David arose and went down to the wilderness of Paran. And there was a man in Maon whose possessions were in Carmel, and the man was very great, and he had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats, and he was shearing his sheep in Carmel.
So this guy had some bread, he had some dough. All right, go ahead.
Now the name of the man was Nabal.
Now keep that in mind. Write that down. Yeah, that's exactly what it means. He already gave it away if you guys didn't hear him. But Nabal means fool. All right? And since we're doing some edification, Abigail, her name means my father's joy.
Abigail, my father's joy, huh? How do you say it in Hebrew?
It's Abba.
Let me see. Where is it at?
I couldn't.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Let me find it. Where are we at?
Verse 3.
Go ahead.
And the name of his wife, Abigail, and she was a woman of good understanding and of a beautiful countenance. But the man was churlish and evil in his doings.
He was what?
Churlish and evil in his doings.
So she was with a nigga, basically. She was with a wicked nigga who had some money. Go ahead. Sounded real southern right there.
Abba Yago.
Abba Yago.
Abba Yago. Yeah. Abba Yago. Abba Yago. Yeah, it says that is Father, that is source of joy. Right, Abba Yago, right? Because Father Yago. Yeah, Father is source of joy. Father's source of joy. That's a beautiful name. Go ahead. It's a little more rough in Hebrew though.
Yeah.
Abba Yago. Abba Yago. Yeah.
Yeah. So that churlish is rude and mean and spirited, and surely in every way. So he was a nigga. In his house.
And when we use that word nigga, it's in the purest sense of beastly,
Go ahead.
animalistic,
Go ahead.
no wisdom,
None.
no understanding. All right, I'll put it like this. Who's seen the movie The Gremlins? Okay, so when we use that word,
1 and 2.
remember, Israelites ain't niggas. Niggas is a whole different breed. You know what I mean? There's no Israelite nigga. David wasn't a nigga. Solomon wasn't a nigga. Christ wasn't no nigga.
So you can't brag about being that nigga.
Yeah, nah. Nigga means beastly, brute, animal, uncontrollable. Right? So when we use that word, just for y'all to understand how we use it, because we use it totally different from how the world uses it. You know, we use it as we see the ignorance in our people. So he's saying that this was a brute beast This guy he was uncontrolled. He didn't have no wisdom.
Yeah,
His name was Fool.
Yeah, he operated as a fool in his house as well as outside of his house.
Now, let's think about this. How spiritual that his parents had to be to name him Fool.
He was at the house of Caleb. It tells you that in the next stanza. He was at
the house of Caleb.
He was at the house of Caleb.
Wow. You see what's going on here? Like the Most High be moving, man. But this guy was going to be an example. He was going to be an example. Go ahead.
And he was of the house of Caleb. And David heard in the wilderness that Nabal did shear his sheep. And David sent out 10 young men. And David said unto the young men, Get you up to Carmel, and go to Nabal, and greet him in my name. And
so David's sending his men to go meet to go greet Nabal. All right, because he heard, dang, okay, Caleb was his father. He's from the lineage of Caleb. You know what? Hey, that must be respectable because his father was well respected, right? Hey, go greet him in my name. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And thus shall ye say unto him that live in prosperity, Peace be both to thee and peace be to thine house.
To show you that David wasn't a nigga, because he said, when you go see this man, this is what you're gonna go say. Greet this man like this, in this fashion. He said, peace be to both thee and thy house. That's like when you walk into somebody's house, you say greetings and salutations. Shalom. Peace be with you, brother, and your household.
Right, Ma Shalom Ka. But yeah, you know, the thing is this, that I like how you put the contrast, because you see that David was still king. He wasn't a brute. He wasn't an animal. He was cordial. He used wisdom.
Right, because
he was respectful.
Right.
He had that loving. He wasn't like, I'm the king, you a bum. You know what I mean? I'm over you. He wasn't like that. Go ahead.
The greater thy heart,
the more you humble yourself. Yeah.
Where you at?
Verse 6, last precept.
Go ahead.
And peace be unto all that thou hast.
Go ahead.
And now I have heard that thou hast shearers. Now thy shepherds which were with us, we heard them not, neither was there aught missing unto them. All the while they were in Carmel.
So you had some people that were around us, and you know what? We watched their backs. We was looking out for them. We made sure nothing happened to these men that were of your household, that were of your business. All right, go ahead.
Verse 8. Ask thy young men, and they will show thee. Wherefore let the young men find favor in thine eyes. For we come in a good day. Give, I pray thee, whatsoever cometh to thine hand unto thy servants and to thy son David.
So we were wondering if by chance you could break some bread. Because I'm rolling with my men. We're a little hungry. We need some provisions. And we took care of your people. So we was just wondering if you could look out for us a little bit. One hand wash the other. You know, that's kind of like how Israel's supposed to be doing. Khan? Go ahead, read.
And when David's young men came, and they spake to Nabal according to all those words in the name of David, and ceased, and Nabal answered David's servants and said, Who is David?
He said, David? Who that is? Who that is? Who that be? Not that, yeah. Come on now. He said, who's David? Go ahead.
And who is the son of Jesse?
Who Jesse be? Oh, you talking about the dude with the sheep, right? Nah. That's how Nabal was acting. Go ahead.
There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master.
You know what? Everybody just be name dropping, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, David, Jesse, Caleb. Bro, I don't know who's who nowadays.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead.
Verse 11. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers and give it unto men?
Now y'all know he know who David was. Okay, let's just get it right. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
He was being a jerk.
Smart butt.
Yeah, he was being smart. He knew who David was. Everybody knew who David was. You got this war going on. You got Saul chasing David. You got David's character. Remember, it said David had killed his 10,000s, right?
Gone.
So you gotta see this disrespect this man was given. We're gonna get to this woman point, but he's getting there. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Whom I know not whence they be. So David's young men turned their way and went again, and came and told him all those things. And David said unto his men, gird you up on every man his sword. And they girded on every man his sword.
So when they told him this message, he was like, okay, everybody grip up. Everybody get locked and loaded. We about to air this dude out right quick. Because there's a high amount of disrespect going on. This dude's acting too niggerish, too grimlish. All right, go ahead.
And David also girded on his sword.
So he's strapped up. Go ahead.
And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 of bold.
He about to go to this dude's house. Can you imagine somebody coming to your house with 400 people? People get shook when there's like more than 2 cops around.
You bringing a little military with you.
Literally. Go ahead.
And 200 of bold by the stuff.
Oh, come on, 200 just kicking it in the cuts.
Yeah, 600, man.
Yeah, that's 600 total.
Wow.
Now, David alone by himself could utterly destroy everybody in the house. But he got 400 people rolling with him. In case you know what? No. Go ahead.
Verse 14. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master.
So the Most High, he found a way. He's like, you know what? Okay. I love this guy right here, but he's about to roll deep real quick. Let me intersect. Let me put my spirit into this guy right here to do this. To rectify this situation. Make better this situation. Let me use somebody as an example. Go ahead.
And he railed on them. But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversant.
Read verse 14 again.
You gonna lock him?
But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master.
So the Most High sent a message. So the Most High sent a messenger to Abigail. Why would he do that? Because he understood the character that Abigail displayed within her. He understood how she was a young, virtuous woman, how she was trained up to be. She was married to a fool. She was married to a nigga nonetheless. But guess what? She wasn't disorderly.
Listen, we blocked him on YouTube, man. Don't be coming on here with that madness. You got that bitter. You sound emotional right now. Well, women should be killed and uterus cut out. What the hell's wrong with him?
Well, he said guys should be put down like puppies.
Okay, this guy got demons on him. Just block that. Once in a while, we get a psychopath in there.
The ball.
Right, we getting the ball in the trap.
We get the fool.
Yeah, block that real quick. But yeah, see, it's stuff like that to show you, man. No standard for our people. No standard for you. There's a people in this world that ain't worried about wisdom. You know, but go ahead, let's finish it.
All right, 15.
But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversant with them when we were in the fields.
So this is also showing you, like the brother said, David was known because they went to the husband. He tried to play dumb. He tried to play boo-boo the fool. But guess what? Abigail knew. She was like, oh, dang, he did this? He did that for you guys? Oh, I got it. What's up?
I was going to say, it's crazy. It's just like, these are our people because you got that same worldly nigga spirit right there. Like, man, I'm about mine. I don't know, man. Yeah. But you better go get yours on me. Like,
right.
I got people I grew up with that act like that. Like
that mind state still exists, bro.
That's crazy.
It's sad. Go ahead.
Verse 16. They were a wall unto us both by night and day.
He said they looked out for us day and night. These men had our backs. Go ahead.
All the while we were with them keeping sheep.
So he's just reconfirmed. He's just telling the same message that David's men went and told Nabal. Go. Where you at? Verse 17. Jump down to verse 18.
Verse 18. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 200 bottles of wine and 5 sheep and ready dressed and 5 measures of parched corn.
Now, do you think she was getting all this stuff ready just half-assed? Lie or con? Hell no. She's seen the importance behind it. You know what? 400 men are coming. I just take my time. I'm going to get this done when I want to get this done. I'm going to do this when I want to do this. Hell no. She made haste in what she was doing.
you're seeing here that all the time the men ain't gonna be right. And when they're not right, that doesn't mean you start acting like that. You are independently a worshiper of God and Yahweh Shai. And you bow to your husband, that's an order. You're in order with him because he's in order with Yahweh Shai. But if your husband's losing his damn mind and trying to do crack, do you follow that? If he trying to get you to worship other gods, do you follow that? If he try to get you to leave the truth, do you follow that? That's your soul. And nobody got power over your soul but the Most High. So this is just showing you, you will get this. But how do you act? You're going to see a woman that still upheld a high standard when her husband was a fool. Y'all get that? Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Verse 18. That's where you were at, right? All right.
And 100 clusters of raisins, and 200 cakes of figs, and laid them on asses.
So even though she was with somebody who was foolish and who was niggardly, she still kept her decency. She was still rolling in a respectful manner.
So you mean she didn't badmouth him?
No, she
didn't talk bad about him?
She still did her womanly duties, and she was still respectful.
She didn't downgrade him and degrade him in front of David's men?
She didn't do any of that, because the scriptures didn't speak on that. Go ahead.
Verse 19. And she said unto her servants, Go on before me. Behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband the ball. And it was so, as she rode on the ass, that she came down by the covert of the hill, and behold, David and his men came down against her, and she met them.
So she intervened right before they came up to the house to overthrow it. Go ahead.
Now David had said, Surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow hath in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him.
So you mean to tell me I was my brother's keeper and this dude want to act stupid and act like he doesn't know who I am? He doesn't want to help out? Seriously? And that's what he's basically saying. Go ahead.
And he hath requited me requited me evil for good.
So he repaid me evil when I did him good? Go ahead.
So and more also do Yahweh unto the enemies of David. If I leave all that pertain to him by the morning light, any that pisseth against the wall.
Go ahead. So he's destroying anybody, basically, everybody there.
All the males.
That righteous indignation on David was going to come down on this man, because you don't deal with brothers, people like that. You know, we're righteous men. We got you. We dealing with you right. We respecting you. I'm a king, and you gonna entreat me like this? Yeah.
Because even reminds me of Judges, even like when they went to war with Benjamin.
Yeah.
That man was a stranger on the road. It said he was a stranger. He was like basically traveling a far country. He was like, "Hey man, come here. You know, I'll get your camels."
This supposed to be love.
Supposed to be kind of.
Right. You can see this. His name, the fool, was acting like a fool.
That's crazy.
Go ahead.
And when Abigail saw David, she hasted and lighted off the ass and fell before David on her face and bowed herself to the ground.
Wait a minute. She came up and said, "Nigga, who are you?"
And bowed herself to the ground.
She said, "What you doing on my property?"
And bowed herself to the ground.
She kept her humility about her. That's what she displayed. That's a lot of strength. She just saved the whole household by doing that. She saved a fool by being humble in front of David.
A wise woman buildeth their house.
Right. We just went to that. Yeah. But I put this one the other day, and I want to add it here because, man, it's right on point what type of characteristic Abigail was. And going with the class is that you see these different instances like he's been pulling with these different women. You start to see this is a typical instance in Israel. You're gonna get that every time women are gonna come in the truth, and their husband might not be down with the Most High. You still got to be that woman that stands up for righteousness. It's Ecclesiasticus Go 7. Wait up, hold on. Before I get that one, hold on. 26. Ecclesiastes 26 and 13.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and 13. The sinner shall not escape with his spoils.
No.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 13. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. Verse 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
Right.
And there is nothing so much worth.
So read it again.
Excuse me. Ecclesiastes chapter 26 verse 13. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband.
You see, this woman had grace. This Abigail was the type of woman that had grace. Her grace wasn't determined on her husband. It was determined on the Most High. Her order, her beauty, the thing that made her righteous wasn't on a man. Because now you see when that man got out of line, he got out of the spirit. She still uphold the spirit of the Most High. She kept her integrity. Read what you got. What you got?
Grace. It says favor, goodwill.
It says favor, goodwill.
Kindness.
Go ahead.
Dispensation.
See, kindness. She was kind. Right? Go ahead.
Dispensation to oblige another.
Right. You see, she knew how to treat others. See? That's why you got to watch the character on you, man. You got to watch how you deal with other individuals. Listen, you know, I know this is going to trip. You're probably going to be like, what? You know a person, how they really are, how they treat their enemies. You know how they are, how they treat their enemies. You can see the real them. So you got to be careful, because how you treat people, how you treat your enemy is going to show what spirit you got on you. Y'all see this? There's still supposed to be a grace about you, a character and a standard about you. And that's what you're seeing with Abigail. That's what you're seeing. She's saving her husband, but he don't even know. He don't even know what's going on. See? Go ahead.
And her discretion.
And her what?
And her discretion.
See, that word again. Her what?
Discretion.
Go ahead, look up the word discretion again. And this got to come out. It got to come out dealing with Abigail. It got to come out dealing with Moses' mother, Moses' sister. It got to come out dealing with Sarah, Rachel, right? All these women of the Bible. Listen, when we read about Rahab, the harlot, what did she have to have?
Discretion.
She had to have discretion. She had to know timing. What you got?
Definition 2 in Webster's is wrong.
Right, read it loud.
The quality of having or showing discernment or
see the quality and having discernment. So this woman had to be able to discern and say, okay, this man is going to come and destroy my whole house. She had to have a foresight. This idiot ain't even have in his mind that you messing with the Don Dada. you messing with the Don Goggin, right?
Don Goggin.
I know. I'm messing that up, but y'all get it, right?
My God.
This was the man, but she had discretion. She seen ahead. This is why the scripture said, wise man's eyes are in his head. That's for a woman too. Could a woman be as smart as a man? Could a woman be smarter than a man? You gotta be bad. You gotta be bad. Because how could you do this and not act like you got power over your husband? How could you do this and still show respect to the guy that was finna destroy your husband and your husband?
Discretion.
Discretion. See? Yeah. What you got? Prudence. She knows timing. Like, it's not the time to argue with me at this point. It's not the time to get snotty and Okay, we gonna do it your way then. Right? It's not the time for that. What can we do that behind doors and can we talk? You talking right now out your face in front of everybody. Right?
Or can we just not do that at all?
We cannot do that at all.
Can we not do that at all and you just roll?
That'd be ideally.
Right.
But even in being a human, you can tell people that don't have no discretion behind their actions. You can tell women that don't care about anything. You see that? So you're seeing right now how the women of Israel got to start being. The women of Israel got to start looking at themselves. You sisters need to look at yourselves. Why you not consider wise? Because you ain't got discreet. You ain't even discreet in what you say, what you do, how you feel, how you think.
Or how you say it.
Or how you say it. There's no discretion. What else you got, sis?
Or knowledge, which enables a person to judge critically.
See, see, you thinking, I am judging critically, that's why I'm barking at you right now. Nah. Discretion makes you to understand and judge critically and know when timing is needed. It's not time for that. Yeah.
Oh, that made me think what he just said. How you say something. The scriptures say that you if you blow on the fire,
yeah,
you can have the flame basically.
Yeah. Or you can spit on the fire,
and you can put it out, and both come out of the mouth.
Right.
I'm butchering the scripture, but it's like you said, it's how you can deliver something to somebody. Because sometimes like I know, especially like with me, like when I had like little issues about getting mad and stuff, it was how I was delivering. Even you should, as a man, you should react a different way. But it was like you can tell me something that's real, but you don't gotta be a
jerk about it. Yeah.
You just be delivered in like a very sweet way, like, and that'll go a longer way than the way you're trying to deliver the messages to me.
Exactly. And that's what, that goes back in y'all know the scriptures, Ecclesiastes, about a haughty woman, a wicked woman with a forward mouth, about going up a sandy hill. All those scriptures that apply to a foolish woman. Yeah, you make him want to run to the rooftop. You drive the enemies away. All those scriptures, y'all know that it's common that we go over all the time. Read on. Finish that. Oh, anybody got more on discretion?
Finish the discretion.
Yeah.
Finish it. Finish what he had because it was very important.
Yeah, go ahead.
The quality of having or showing discernment or good judgment. The quality of being discreet. Circumspection. Especially cautious, reserved in speech.
In what?
Reserved in speech.
Yeah, just like when you read about, I was just reading this story the other day. When you look at Abigail, she didn't take the opportunity to talk bad about her husband. She just understood what needed to be done, and she did it, even though she did it in a way where she really didn't undermine him. She did more good for him and the house than not, but that cautious in speech, she didn't go to David like, yeah, see, this nigga's off and
he's stupid
and you're a better man and look at your muscles.
Yeah.
She didn't do all that. She just said, listen, as we read,
it's gonna go down.
Yeah, it's gonna go down. Listen what she says. Watch, read it.
Verse 24. And fell at his feet and said.
She did what?
Fell at his feet and said.
So she showed respect. Go ahead.
Upon me, my Lord, upon me, let this iniquity be.
You see that? She took the blame. She said, let this iniquity be on me. But she knew what she was doing. She knew that David wasn't going to punish her for what her husband did, especially the way she came. And to see the way she came. She came making up for the fault of Nabal.
Right.
So she knew. She was but there she was being wise.
Yeah, can I get one?
Oh, yeah.
Ecclesiastes 20 and 13.
She was trying to save his house too because
Ecclesiastes chapter 20 verse 13.
Ecclesiastes 20 and 13.
Nabal's house, because he said David said, I'm going to come and slay everybody that pisses on the wall. He didn't say everybody that squat down. He was talking about the men.
He was talking about the men. Yeah, that was her whole point.
Yeah, so she was cool.
But her being righteous, she was like, there was no need for all that bloodshed. There was no need for you to come through and slay. Look, let me just give you what you need.
Yeah, go ahead, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 20 verse 13. A wise man by his words maketh himself beloved.
So there you go. You got Nabal, he didn't do that. You could tell he wasn't wise. That's why this is what a lot of Israelites need, and this is what, what we talk about a lot. What you just broke down, it says that you can either spit on the flame or you can increase it. You can throw wood on it. And that's the thing. A lot of Israelites don't understand that timing, discretion, discreet, what is needed at this certain particular time. And that's why we lose a lot. We lose a lot of individuals because you don't know. Right now, the razor needs to be applied, not the sledgehammer. So she knew that. Nabal didn't know that. He was the fool. Go ahead.
But the graces of fools shall be poured out.
Yeah, see, but what's supposed to be grace, what's supposed to be delicacies, where we're supposed to be a good example, where we're supposed to be tenderness and gentleness and kindness, he showed himself to be a what? A fool. Abigail, his name, right? Nabal, the fool. Go ahead. Jump back.
I pray thee, speak in thine audience, and hear the words of thine handmaid. Verse 25. Let not my Lord, I pray thee, regard this man of Belial, even Nabal, for as his name is, so is he. Nabal is his name, and folly is with him.
So she's trying to basically she's trying to excuse for her husband's niggerism. You know what I mean? Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 26 verse 15.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 verse 15. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, in her content mind.
No. Read it from the top. Read it again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 verse 15.
Go ahead.
A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace.
So this is what she was applying right here. She was being shamefaced and faithful. That's a double grace to a man that has a woman like that. That's what she was displaying.
Yeah.
When you look at it, this is what these women displayed. Shamefacedness and faithfulness.
That's when it says her price is far above rubies. This is the type of woman you're supposed to be. All these women we talked about is the type of women you're supposed to be aspiring to be, and how to use the wisdom that you've been given tonight to make yourself live to this standard. Make yourself be known as the faithful person, the faithful sister. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
And her content mind.
No.
Continent.
And her continent mind cannot be valued.
You see that? Because a woman
continent. Look that word up. Sorry. No. Go ahead.
Oh, a woman of value, a woman that's like this, you can't put a price tag on. A woman that's willing and to do anything that's needed for her household, for her people, you can't put a price tag and say, well, she's worth this, she's worth that. That's what you want. That's a strength in you. She's supposed to be an extension of you. You got the word? You got the definition? Go ahead.
It says restraining, moderate.
You see that? This goes back into discretion.
Right.
It goes back into discretion.
That's the key thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Temperate.
Right. No, read it from the top, Art.
It says restrained, moderate.
Right. Restrained. A mind that's well instructed. This woman, she's restrained. She knows that, okay, once again, having discretion, let me restrain my mouth. Let me restrain myself so I can represent whatever I'm doing the right way. Go ahead.
Forbearance.
Right, forbearance. Meaning, you know how it's just in you, like, apple, banana. Low. It's like this. Nope.
Like
could you do that? No, it's like, damn, you didn't even let it even come out of my mouth before you denied it and argued with it. You know what I mean? Hey, did you see? No, I didn't see the movie. It was like, okay. Like, you don't got no chill. You got no restraint. But that shows you that she lacks discretion. She lacks a mind that's able to be instructed. You was going to say something?
All right. This It says the definition of continent is having control over urination, defecation, or sexual urges.
Right.
But you know, when you look at that, you know, if you even take that into a person's mouth,
right,
and mind,
yeah,
it's really about having control over, like what you were just saying.
Yeah.
Don't be a rebuttal machine. Listen first. A wise man will hear.
Right.
You know, hear the conclusion of the matter. But you got to be continent. These women, you know, you deal with Abigail, Miriam, all these other women that they were mentioning. They had these continent minds where they were able to hear what was going on before they just, and even brothers too. Brothers got to be more continent, where you're willing to hear. A wise man is willing to hear, and then you'll rebuttal if the need be. So it just shows you, you know, you're able to have control over your facilities, over your faculties.
Yeah.
You got total body control. It ain't just urination, defecation, and sexual urges.
Yeah.
But it's your mouth. It's your erratic movements.
Yeah.
When you know, it's your twitch.
Yeah.
And so y'all got that nervous twitch. Your husband start talking to you, you just start trembling.
You just got a database, and you just start rebuttal machine. So these are the things that you sisters got to work on. How many of you sisters got a problem with that? Rebuttaling all the time. Raise your hand. You better raise your... You're going to raise your damn hand right now. Ah! And nobody's like, I'm meek. I am humble.
Special faults.
Go ahead, I read on.
But I, thine handmaid, saw not the young men of my Lord, whom thou didst send.
No. Anything else on continent? None? No, all right. Go ahead, I.
Verse 26. Now therefore, my Lord, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, seeing the Lord hath withholden thee from coming to shed blood, and from avenging thyself with thine own hand.
You see how she talked to David, though?
Yeah.
You see how she kind of was like, listen, even though the Most High sent you, he didn't send you to kill. She was like, the Most High restrained you. The way she was talking to him, it was almost like, come on, you don't really want to do this.
Right.
You know, you didn't really come here for this. The Most High ain't about that. You got to see how she was talking to him.
Yeah.
She didn't want that for her husband. She didn't want to see that. She didn't want to deal with that. But she knew how to reason with David. Without doing this, though. Without sleeping with him. Without being committing any type of adultery with her husband.
Touching his chest. David, look at these guns, David.
You know, calling him Big Daddy and all that. She didn't have to do all that. Rub his bald head. She didn't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? She kept continent.
Yeah.
She was continent. She wasn't ready to just give herself up to him in return for something. You got to see how she was dealing. She was strategic. She was playing chess. And David wasn't a stupid man. David was a very intelligent man, but she was an intelligent woman. Intelligence meets intelligence. You know, you ain't got to go to war.
A soft answer turn away wrath.
A soft answer turn away much wrath.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Grab me that one, verse 16 in Ecclesiastes. I'm gonna just close with this one because I got more women's and men's.
Read that. 16, verse 16.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 16.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 16. As the sun when it arises in the high heaven.
You gotta think about how glorious and how beautiful that looks when you see that, right? Go ahead.
So is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house.
So when you come home and it's ordered and it's structured in its proper way, that's the same glory and fashion that you have. That the Most High gave to the earth, that's what you have in your house.
Yeah, that's what you see. When you see Abigail, you could tell what type of woman she was and how she talked. You could tell, like, when you listen to that, you can see, like, man, this sister, she definitely had her house in order. She was that Proverbs 31 woman, she was handling all of that. That's why when, what's his name, died, what did David do?
Oh, he ripped that down.
Snatched her up.
He snatched her up.
She knew more about Ball's stuff than he did.
Yeah.
She was able to take from him, and he didn't even know.
Yeah.
Think about how much she knew about his own, just her whole household.
Yeah.
All the things that were attached to it.
You know,
for her to be able to do that, take camels and loaves. What she took? Oil, grapes, loaves,
Right.
bread. Yeah, for him to be able to do that and him not miss it, he had to be stupid as hell. Or just not paying attention or didn't care.
Really not paying attention. But she had his back. It doesn't matter. She still loved him.
Yeah.
She had his back.
Yep. It was all,
you know, in his ignorance, in his foolishness. You know, so yeah. Does y'all have any questions on that? On that topic? Anything online? I mean, it's 10 o'clock. We keep going and going and going.
Nothing online, sir.
Okay, we'll give y'all a few seconds online. You had anything, sis? Any questions on that?
I got like five more in-depth sisters.
Yeah, you can go. We'll finish it up. We're going to the other ones next time. But yeah, that was I like Miriam. I like that. I like Rahab because it showed a different part, you know, of these women.
Right.
You know, because we always talk about the wicked woman and righteous woman, but you can see the details of these individuals, like what they had to do when they were put in these predicaments that made them look righteous. So
and it's something so small,
or be righteous.
And it's something so small that's overlooked, because you wouldn't think guiding a little ark down the water is important.
Right.
You're thinking it's the same with the scripture. You're thinking I'm giving a prophet a cup of water. That what is that?
Right. It's nothing. So nothing online? Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and conclude class. Remember, brothers and sisters, Hanukkah Feast of Lights starts on the 30th. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's a few days from now. It's Friday. This Friday. So I'm going to say it again for y'all online. We're not going to be online that week because, well, really, let me look at that calendar.
Friday, Saturday.
Well, Saturday we will have class because it's at night. So Saturday morning we will have class, but Friday night we're not because we're going to be feasting. We're going to be celebrating the first day of Feast of Lights. All right? And so the days that we regularly would have class, we're not going to have them that week except for the Sabbath. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We don't want you to think we got blown up or something. Who had their hand raised? You good? All right, so once again, for y'all in town that do want to come and feast with the brethren, get a hold of us. Our number's up there. You are welcome to come through. Other than that, if that's it, nobody got anything? Okay, let's say shalom, y'all.
Shalom.
We'll see y'all Wednesday. Oh yeah, that's Friday. That's right. So yeah, okay. So the first day is happening where?
Our house.
Okay. Who's that hosted by?